Hello?
Hello there.
Hello. Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday, the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. Welcome to the news, where I've completely and utterly changed everything, but now, I think it's working. And if it stops working, Jesus then, lads, there's no hope for us now, right? It's very red in here or something. Take a slice of hardship, put it in the bowl, then take, life misery, put that in the bowl, stir it, and then feed it to Murph. And then put Murphy into the bowl.
Really sleepy, nighty, snoozy snooze.
Are we live? Can you tell me what we're doing? Is it working, at least? Are we 4K on friggin' the tube of view? Are we normal on Twitch and our vertical stream? Because, lads, I've had a day of it. I've had a night of it. All night, all day. And then just before going live, when I thought I was all sorted, I did something that I didn't see in the roadmap of things to do, right? I said, right, I'll back up everything now. Now that I have it working, I'll back it all up to OneDrive. And what did OneDrive do? It took all my files. I turned on OBS. It's like, there's nothing in here. Huh? Where's my stuff? So then I had to... Anyway, hope you're all keeping well. Hopefully this is now back to the way it used to be. I'm monitoring everything very closely. So we'll see. Things are doing what they should do, so hopefully we don't have any weird audio, we don't have any bad resolutions, right? So good evening and welcome in. We do have a busy one tonight, because if you notice, I played the wrong song first. It didn't relink. You see, it didn't relink. But anyway, listen, it's all grand. Tonight, friends, we're going to be checking out all of this week's flight sim news. It's all thanks to SayIntentions. And we shall look at some add-ons this week, as, we did a lot of news last week. We didn't get the chance to check out a lot of the new add-ons. So tonight, we're checking out the iniBuilds TriStar, the L-1011. We're also going to be checking out the new Carenado B200, based on the Beechcraft B200. And also Aeroplane Heaven's Mosquito. The de Havilland Mosquito, World War II aircraft, absolutely gorgeous. We're going to see what it looks like inside Flight Sim 2024. Now, it is a 2020 add-on, but it should be working tickety-boo over on 2024. And then we also have some sceneries to check out. Alright, calm down now, lads. We're going to the Scouts of Land here in Liverpool. iniBuilds with a brand new release. We're also going to be checking out Kemble out at Cotswold from Burning Blue Design. And then a brand new scenery for Belfast City by FlyX Simulations. We're going to check that one out as well. So it's quite a busy one this evening. And... lads, it's just, I can't be trusted with anything. I didn't do anything, and yet everything broke. But now, hopefully, it's back working. If you were here when I opened up OBS about 20 minutes ago, and nothing was there. I mean, I was even offended by the language, right? But it's grand, right? We seem to be working. So, let's see how it goes. So yeah, can we do an audio visual check? Yeah, right. Is it working or is it not working? So if we have someone on Twitch and then of course someone over on YouTube as well, just to let us know if the thing is working, and if it's not, I'm going to bed and shag it. Right, that's where it's going to be at. OneDrive is like the missus, it puts stuff away never to be found again. Oh, Jesus. It's painful. Right, we're spot on everywhere. Go up the yard. See, just when I thought there was no hope, right, everything's working perfectly, then Murphy breaks it, and then Murphy continues. There's a cat hair. The world's hardest to pick up cat hair. I broke it so much, I fixed it. That's kind of the catch now that we're talking about today, right? But so great to see. I hate not streaming. It drives me friggin' wild. And last night we were to do some trucking and nothing would work. I had the same problem last night. So the good news is we're back in action. From what you can see, right? We're not streaming over to the Talk of Tick this evening, says you. And, right, because we're still in kind of testing the gadget out. But, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the last mistake I made, because OneDrive backed up everything, maybe there's a syncing issue, it lifted everything off my desktop. And even now, if I look at my desktop, I can't see anything. It's like, no, you've no files, you've nothing. No, we took it all away. I don't know where they're gone. I don't know where my files are gone from my desktop. But sure, listen, we're not going to worry too much, lads. You know, I'll worry so you don't have to. But yeah, it's going to be a busy one tonight. So ramble in, grab a cuppa and, you know, put up with the Muppetry that is I. That's what I do, pure Muppet. But we'll see how we get on. Super Ty, good evening. Vacuum is in the house. Mac Vision is here. North Coast Mike, good evening. Eamon 1973, welcome aboard. Blinky is here. Creo, hope all is well in County Mayo. Creo. Kirog is here. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce. And Wolfie. Welcome in. Steiny, good to see you. Chalks is here. The Boise, happy Wednesday. APU Inspector, halfway to the weekend. Indeed. Roll on the weekend. We're all going on holidays. We've had it too much. There's been too much going on. But yes, let me see here now. Alberto, good evening. Old Veteran 965, howdy from the car. Hope all is well, Scott. He pressed the button, he messed with stuff, and now it's working. Right. The Impossible Face, good evening. Malky is here. Sir Campsalot, my dude, you're very welcome aboard. Shuffle Shoes, shuffles in. Welcome aboard. Spitfire RAF 100, Tier 1 for 62 months. I don't deserve it at all. I'm not. Look, see? I shouldn't be allowed to do anything. Wrap me up in bubble wrap, put me in the corner. Straight jacket, put me in a padded room. Sorted, you know. But yes, Spitfire, thank you very much indeed. Norse Viking, good evening. Bellbro is in the house. Willow, how much? Welcome in. Photos by Kev is here. Good to see you, Kev. Sim Guy, good evening. Just Roy. Mr. DJ in chat, welcome in, Roy. Hope all is well, buddy. Tarnish Mossman. Put on the kettle, Tarnish. We're over in your neck of the woods. Brilliant. Adam Controls is here. Tier 1 for 32 months. Chase. Adam, are you home? Were you out in the Vegas of loss? You're very welcome in, buddy. Uniform Goose is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for your 5 in a row. Sun Jammer, welcome aboard. 98 Vulcan is here. Good to see you, man. The Boise is sat in an Italian restaurant with work colleagues watching this stream. You're getting some strange looks. Right. Brilliant. Jesus. Now look, there's more people coming in to look at me fail at everything. Grizzle, good evening. I broke everything and then I fixed it and then it broke again. And now we're kind of fixed. This technology thing, right? Do you know what I mean? Look at the number of the people who rated. It nearly hit that magic number, you know. Thank you very much indeed for the raid, buddy. Hope you had a great stream. Welcome in, lads. It works. Every time. You're almost very welcome. Now, let me see. Martel, good evening. Light Bison is here. Goblin Zeus, good evening. Who else now? Mech Manser is here. He says, did he fix the thing with the yoke? Zybok calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Currently 11 degrees, but inside the man cave, it's 19 degrees. I have a clock up my wall, look. Every time I look up there, I see a present from Gibbo. It's a reg plate for the car that says, you big Egypt. I resemble that statement, do you know? But yes, Srap, good evening. Hope you're well. Two Dogs, greetings from Wisconsin. Welcome in, buddy. Tima is in the house. Thank you very much indeed for 20 months. Cheers, buddy. Hermit Something, very good afternoon to Boston. Welcome aboard. Heisenberg is in the house. P.S. Mirandai, hello there. Welcome in. Cornwolf, good to see you. Piku is in the house. Let me see. Murphy is trying to find a button that isn't broken that might help fix the buttons he has already broken. Yes. It'd be grand, right? It should be fine. Totally fine. Nothing to worry about at all. Stu Snape is here. Good to see you, buddy. Let me see. Paparazzi, Tier 2 for 57 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. I hope you're well. Viper Strike, good to see you. Just heard the news. Murph will now be the new manager of Chelsea. Right. Sean Game, good evening. Thank you very much indeed for 19 months. Cheers, man. Now, let me see. Do you know what I was doing today? I was even like... You know when you do that kind of tightrope walk, metaphorically speaking, about, you know, equipment and technology. I was thinking, right, I'm in a terrible mess here. I need to fix all this stuff. So I was considering then, do I need a new streaming PC? Is this where it's at? You know? And they don't come cheap now, you know. But anyway, the good news is I fixed it and it now works. The bad news is I'm a muppet and I can't be trusted with anything at all. Even breathing, I'll cheat. But it's working now. Well, I think it's working now. All my buttons are working now. John, are you there, John? John is there anyway. It was John, wasn't it? Wasn't he the referee out of Gladiators? I think he was. But he's working. So if he's working, well, then it's all working. Do you know? But anyway, where are we now? We're over here, look. TG Sims, good evening. Hope you're well. Fierce Wolf with the big massive emote of button pressing. Yeah, accurate, very accurate. North Coast Mike, good evening. Belbro says to get rid of the redness, whatever, just don't push buttons. Why is it red? Stupid thing. Hang on. I can fix this now, lads. Now, before we all start getting excited, how do you... they're after updating this shagging thing. Wait now. Chat come... No. Where's the... They've moved things around. And streaming tools, no. Overlays, no. Default state, here we go. No. Scenes, yes. Now, where's me? Fire that for effect. I fixed it. See, sometimes my genius is enough to have two bald men fighting over a comb. It all works. But yes, Memphis Don, thank you very much indeed. 39 months. Cheers, buddy. You're very kind. Roy says, so are we looking at pre-recorded episode? It came very close to it, you know. It's like trying to start a Skoda. DeRuiter, good evening. Hope you're well. Crafty Tigers, welcome aboard. Muse fan. Jesus, tier 3 for 61 months. Asher, how are you, Muse? Thank you very... Who keeps turning me lights to red? Stop turning red. Stupid things. Thank you very much indeed, Muse. Good to see you. I hear you were... Muse was practicing Ship Simulator. He was playing in the bath. Right. Moving on abruptly. Now, it's time to move on. Let me see. Flying tonight, good evening. Hope you're well. Techie issues, wouldn't believe it. Vasco from MSFS Addons.com has rambled into the chat. Good to see you, Vasco. Wills, thank you very much indeed for the gifted tier 1 sub. Very kind of you, sir. Then we had the massive raid by Grizzle and all the community lads. You're very welcome in, and thank you very much indeed. Bart, good to see you, buddy. Who else come in the door here now? Crotty is here. Father Ted, good evening. 'Twas a delight, says Grizzle. Excellent. Adam says, Nashville for 4 nights, then Vegas for 3 nights, home Friday afternoon, only getting over the jet lag now, and Black 17 was useless. You did it wrong. Black 17 is never useless. Funny enough, I found out more about why, always bet on Black 17. I'm going to tell you now, Adam, right? So, me mate, anyway, who lives in New Zealand, he had this cow. And her name was Jenny. And her tag was number 17. Number 17, Jenny 17. And she was black and white, but she was more kind of black than white with the, And that's where Black 17 came from. A cow called Jenny in New Zealand. Now, anyone ever asks you, that's what it's about. It makes no sense. Right, where's this now? With a 68, you're just owed 1, right? Right. Let me see now. Camille, welcome in. Where are we at? Over here. Kanzui is here. I'm so glad you've got this working so I can sit and watch a fella talking to a wall for a bit. It's brilliant, isn't it? Wait now, will this even work? This will tell you now if I've completely shagged it. Wait, where's that button? Oh, I'm after breaking it. Wait, where is that button gone? I used to have a button for that, didn't I? No? Lads. Where did that button used to live? There it is, there. Oh, Jesus, look. But yeah, I'm effectively talking to a wall, But that's where you're all in the little box, you see. So that's what we do. That's a terrible back of the head situation. Soon that'll be recovered and fixed with some terribly nice hats from flightsmts.com. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be grand. Naughty Gnome is in the house. Good to see you. Where's this now? Are we going to get a pink world today? Well, I mean, technology is fantastic when it works. I agree. Energizer, good to see you. Shakira. Why are you calling him Shakira? Talking about technology, the desk setup is... it's up and running. Where are the cables? Tomorrow an appointment with the physiotherapist. Oh, Jesus, Roy, you poor old devil. Now, let me see. Congratulations on the new desk. Even breathing IT, right? Do you know, John Anderson, good man, Stu. Stu, you'd have been very good at that job, I'd say, He's touching buttons. It's grand. OBS filters. Wait, what? Buttons, what did I do? Oh, no, we're grand, right. That's, Jesus, I thought for a second there it was broken. Oh. All as well. So a Kiwi cow gave us lucky 17. Yeah. Thought he only met sheep over New Zealand. No, Jesus, no. Loads of cows. Right, old veteran is back home. Or Nair hair removal. Wait, what? Filthy, good to see you. Jesus, lads, it's all kicking off now. Does this button work? Yes, it does. Right, Tim Waters, good evening. PGM is in the house. Sourdough Man, welcome aboard. Mr. Anderson himself, happy Wednesday. Kieran Nile is here. Bears Bikes, good evening. Flyboy Dyer, welcome in. Angels 15 is here. Henk Smulders, good evening. Let me see here now. B101 UK, Jesus, good to see you. Now I can hear it. Can you hear it? Oh God, then you can hear it. Someone's pressing buttons. Razorback, good evening. Black Sheep Jean, welcome in. You'll need a vacation to recover from your vacation. My thoughts exactly. Colonel Indiana Longnuts, welcome aboard, buddy. Monty's in the house. Northland Air, good evening. And Mark Alderson, calling in from Florida. You're very welcome aboard. Great to see you, buddy. And the photos by Kev, because he's a mad ticket. He has gifted 10 Tier 1 subs to the community. Kev, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, we've got a Tier 1 sub, but thanks to photos by Kev. We'll do be sure to say thank you. The man is terribly kind and lovely. Tim Dog, welcome in, buddy. One Fly Air is in the house. Welcome in. Now, right, are we done? Right. Let's go over to another screen where it could be shagged as well. You ready? Well, it works so far. Right, welcome to this screen. And in this screen, if you're on the vertical stream, you're actually looking at the back of my head for the whole thing. Didn't think this one through at all, Murphy. But anyway, we have soundage. That's a good start. Now, that's a little bit better, isn't it? Now, how is our output and stuff doing? Right, I'll do a quick... I'm actually losing my mouse. Oh, no, wait, I found it again. Right, let us zoom in here now. Mark, what time is it in Florida? It's work in progress for the Firefly Air livery. Ooh, Cornrow, you can't post links, I'm afraid. The bots go crazy, do you know? Now, is that working? Yes. Is that working? Yes. All appears to be working. This is a good setup, except for I can hear myself talking to myself. Right, I think it's working now. Oh, look, I've deleted everything. Murphy. Right, we're back in action. I think, I hope. We'll see what happens. They do serve Guinness in the lounge of this bad girl. Oh, they do. So this is the iniBuilds, the L-1011 TriStar. I started looking at this machine a little bit earlier on. On tomorrow's daytime stream, we're going to start a bit of a training kind of a series on this for a couple of Thursdays. This is a cool airplane. Without any shadow of a doubt, the engineering behind it, the systems, the capability of it, and the airlines who flew it, it's fascinating, Jim. It's a terribly fascinating airplane, so I want to spend a bit of time to learn it. So what we're going to do starting tomorrow, for a couple of weeks, we're going to start learning this thing. And I mean learning, I mean learning by taking out the manual and learning the thing, you see. So let's see what happens. Joel, listen, OBS is the devil. You know, and I've completely broke everything, but hopefully it's all working again. We'll see how we get on. But yeah, so I'm terribly excited to start learning this thing. iniBuilds, they've packed so much into it. It is ridiculous. Naughty, I'd love to look at it, buddy. Yes, I would love to have a look. Let me see. Senon's Doggy World. Good to see you, Senon. When is Sim Update 5 due? Any day now. Any day now. Possibly this week. So, let's see what happens. Yeah, it's due this week, but it might be delayed until next week. Yeah. See, his Italian hand said he's going to bounce the landing gear hard. Italian hand? Right. But yeah, it's a pretty cool aircraft, and they actually gave it an Aer Lingus livery as well. That came as default with the aircraft, which I thought was deadly. So yeah, we're going to be checking out that machine tonight, and also Liverpool, John Lennon Airport, plus a whole lot more. So very, very much looking forward to having an old delve through all of these. But before we start with the news. And not mad amount of news, but there's news out there all the same. And well, we'll start off. A massive shout out to Vasco over at MSFS who does incredible work. And of course then to Callum and all the lads over at FS Elite for keeping us up to date with all the news that's going on. Tim Dog says, I hope Sim Update 5 is delayed until next week. We're across the pond on Saturday. We don't need them breaking things. Ooh. Interesting. It could cause chaos for across the pond, says Naughty Gnome as well. Jesus, there's a good few saying that so. 29 tabs, just over half compared to last time. Super Ty, how you managed to count them? Yeah, right. But anyway, this is great news for fans of Top Max Studios F22. The 2024 variant, well, it's almost ready. Avionics overhaul, revised fly-by-wire has all been completed, so they're kind of on the last stretch of things to bring about. Top Mac Studios, of course, they've been very active in the military aircraft scope. They brought in their B2 Spirit, the T7A Red Hawk, and of course the YF-23 Black Widow 2. They're already in the sim. The F-22A Raptor, well, it's very close to the finish line. They first released the aircraft in 2020, back in July 2022, after more than 2 years of development. The 2024 version, they're going back to the drawing board with this aircraft, which is pretty cool, right? The studio say the avionics and displays overhaul is complete, with final detailing and testing now underway, and the store's management and tracking system is also done, along with 3D mesh for both the exterior and the interior has been finished. They say the principal development of a revised fly-by-wire system for 2024 is also complete, and the studio have also mentioned a native EFB embedded store configuration system already in the works and ready to rock, and they plan to expand it further. Remaining work includes the aircraft animation, pilot figurine integration, the figurines, and ongoing testing. Crucially, the studio say beta testing applicants will be opening soon. So we're hoping to see this thing months, maybe 2-3 months. Do you know what I mean? Just because you got my name right, I'm subbing. Sennon's Doggy World, thank you very much. You're very welcome. Tarnish Mossman says, I have put the Drew on. Murph, put the Drew on. The kettle on. Oh, Drew, yes. Kubi Montana, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. The SU-57 and SU-35 are also well into development from Top Mac Studios. And the F-15 is close on the modelling side. Systems work has been delayed. But it's good to see, like, I mean, when the F-22 first came out from Top Mac Studio and everyone was doing those mad, you know, this kind of crack, it's a very well put together airplane. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one being released. They do great stuff over at Top Mac, so very excited to see this. The good news, of course, the F-22A Raptor, it's on a very short final for a native 2024 release. Excellent news there. Now, Skyward Simulations, their Citation Sovereign Plus, well, it was spotted on Orbex ahead of what looks like an imminent release. It's been a long road for the Citation 680 Sovereign Plus, first covered back in June of 2024. The project was described as being in its early stages. Much more, or more than 1.5 years later, in February, our first official trailer arrived alongside an expanded look at the electrical architecture, along with the developer saying that the launch was indeed approaching. Right? Now, a product listing has briefly appeared on Orbex, complete with a couple of screenshots and a full feature breakdown before being taken back down. The clearest signal that so far that release is not far off. And if the feature list holds up in practice, well, there's going to be a lot here for business jet fans to look forward to. The Orbex page also the most detailed look of the project we've had so far, pulling together everything Skyward has been working towards over the last 2 years of development. So what are they working on? We've already seen from some of the photos of this aircraft, because an aircraft like this, it's very close, of course, to the Citation that we have, right? Brew, I got you now, Tarnish, good man. When personally do you think Sim Update 5 is coming out? I would have thought today or tomorrow, but it'll probably be next week. Probably it's within the next week, I would say. Do you know? Looking at this aircraft, it does have steep competition. However, what they're looking at, Skyward Simulations, they were very much saying, no, this is going to be a high-fidelity aircraft. People say study sim, and it's kind of like a buzzword. Oh, it's study sim. Any aircraft with any sort of depth, once there's a little bit of depth, but then, you know, it's technically, well, you have to study in order to use it. But the idea being is, well, study level, meaning you have to learn the thing before you go flying, doesn't necessarily mean it's a very good aircraft. I think if it's high fidelity, meaning that every system matches very closely to what it does in the real world, that's kind of more what we lean towards, you know. But what do we have? Well, it's a G5000 avionics suite, custom built by the team, which includes a PFD, an MFD, a GTC plugins developed from scratch. And according to Skyward, almost every every control in the cockpit is functional and tied directly to the underlying system logic. The CAS system, Crew Alert System, is also described as drawing from real data bus architecture, meaning that the CAS messages are supposed to reflect actual system states, which is pretty cool, right? Hayden, good evening. Hope you're well. Who's this now? Begob then. Is it Verti Xpre? No. Janie Mac. Vertex RPI. Welcome in. Pretty cool, pretty cool. The electrical system is where they've placed a particular emphasis throughout this aircraft. The architecture close to 60 buses, 60 relays, some 600 circuits and 100 diodes. It is amongst the most advanced electrical system modelled inside Microsoft Flight Sim. The detailed version of the electrical system is exclusive to 2024 as it relies on the capabilities in the new platform. A slightly modified but still highly accurate version will ship separately for 2020. FADEC, hydraulics and systems across the board. Dual channel FADEC dynamically commands accurate thrust modes, takeoff, MCT, cruise, all the jazz. Hydraulic systems cover the landing gear, brakes, speed brakes, spoilers, thrust reverses and nose wheel steering. Emergency procedures have also been modelled along with the bleed air and anti-ice. There's a lot going on here on paper, and I got to say, looking at the visuals of it, she's a cracker, right? They also have said the aircraft developed using real-world references and tested by a group of 6 CE680 pilots and technicians, with more than 80% of the testing pool made up of active pilots, which is very interesting. On the connectivity side, ACARS CPDLC will be available with PC. Also, D8 support for the FAA and VATSIM, and text NOTAMs via an active SimBrief flight plan. EFB handles SimBrief and Navigraph integration, weight and balance, ground services, and over 300 checklists sourced from the real aircraft. The audio, it's important to note, is also custom, with the audio being handled by Boris Audio Works. No price, no release date. We have been watching this closely over the last couple of weeks and months, and it looks like it's getting very, very close indeed. Business jets coming into Microsoft Flight Sim now. You're going to see a bit of a rev up. We know this is on a very short final. We know that the Falcon is on the way, and of course the Phenom 300 is on the way. So yeah, very exciting times. Very exciting times. The first American flight into Ireland was the Delta L-1011 TriStar 40 years ago, says Kieran. No way. Roy says, today they threw out another update, probably the last one. Interesting. What are your thoughts on this? Is this like an insta-buy, or are you thinking more along the lines of, we'll wait until it comes out and then see what happens? You know what I mean? Ewald, thank you very much indeed for the resub, 42 months. Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much indeed. One Foxy Bingo, Gav, good to see you, Gav. Even though I had the sim on OneDrive, I'm considering installing add-on linker for when the update drops. Interesting. Derek is here, welcome in. Super Ty says, I hope it'll be good. PS Miranda, wait 100%. I'll pick this up as soon as it's available, to be sure, and that's what I try and do here on especially on our Wednesday streams. If there's add-ons that you're interested in, before you buy them, let me know. Chances are I have them or I have access to them, and I'd be more than happy to showcase them and answer any questions you might have. Do you know what I mean? It looks like a gorgeous aircraft, and it's more than I think what we've seen thus far when it comes to some of these systems, because yes, there's custom coding there in terms of different pages and FADEC, and well, that's nothing new, but the fact they're able to tie that all in with the other systems on board, 600 circuits, for example, 60 bus break, all that sort of stuff makes very appealing, I think, you know. Now, as your Polly, they've given us more kind of teasers with their upcoming Rafale. They're adding wingtip smoke and individual flare physics in the latest development update. So individual flare physics in a flight sim is not something you hear about every day. As our Polly, of course, well, they've managed to do that with a couple of their aircraft, including that of the C-160, but they're also putting it into the Dassault Rafale alongside wingtip smoke pods, and also a progress report on the custom fly-by-wire system that has been one of the trickier engineering challenges of the project. It is a project we've been following, and it was announced back in April last year through the Paris Air Show. Exterior completion, cockpit reveal, and then most recently learning about the new weapons system. And for anyone who missed that, the weapon system on this, it can track aircraft, it can fire weapons, and it'll actually show damage within reason, right? Now, they didn't go in, would that be on a multiplayer? Is it on AI? Haven't a clue. But the thing is being modeled to do that. It makes this very, very interesting indeed. But what they're working on here with this aircraft, and they have the official backing by Dassault, which is really cool. As are probably make really, really nice aircraft. the challenge they've had with this is based on the fly-by-wire. Beyond the visual additions, they have been sharing an update regarding the fly-by-wire system, which the team say is one of the most demanding aspects of the project. Working within the constraints of Microsoft Flight Sim and the fly-by-wire implementation, they confirmed early on that a fully custom WASM-based flight control system was the right approach. The team say the system is now nearing completion, with real pilot input being used to fine-tune behaviour across all flight domains, speeds, and indeed altitudes. So yeah, I think there's a lot of kind of head scratching went on in regards to the fly-by-wire system on this aircraft. But like when you get pilots to say, yeah, it feels right, they're laughing. They're absolutely laughing. So still no release date yet. There is a lot of hype for this aircraft. It's not the first Rafale we've seen in the sim, but this one is definitely going to be up there. As are probably their last number of aircraft have just been incredible, including the Jag. The C-160 is one of my all-time favourites from them, and of course the Fuga. Amongst others, the Bronco is also very good as well. They just make class aircraft, lads, so I'm very much looking forward to this one. It looks gorgeous, and the fact that it's coming with a lot more than just, you know, the civilian flight sim features, weapons, flares, all this kind of stuff being modelled as well. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Now, digital aeronautics. We had a look at this last week with their Mi-2 Hoplite. Well, they've now given us a release date, and it's due out tomorrow. It's due out tomorrow. Cribinator, good to see you, buddy. Cold Nebo, 53 months. Cheers, buddy. Thank you very, very much indeed. So this Hoplite, I had a look. We saw it last week. We're like, this looks really nice. They're releasing this tomorrow, exclusively through Sim Market. Pricing hasn't been revealed yet, but the developers say it's coming before launch. So if you followed the coverage of the project, you'll know it's a debut release from the studio, but they're very much talking about a high-fidelity simulation of this aircraft. The exterior model was built using photogrammetry and photo scanning techniques, with thousands of reference photos taken at real airfields. The level of detail the developer claims is notable. Over 6,000 individual rivets, hatches and fuselage elements were placed by hand. The release was shipped with 10 liveries covering Eastern European and former Soviet Union operators, reflecting on the Mi-2's real-world history as a versatile workhorse, with over 5,400 units produced across both military and civilian roles. That's pretty cool and mad, you know what I mean? Do you think Captain Sim 777 will come to PS5? Yeah, it probably will. It probably will. Inside the cockpit, every switch and button is clickable, instruments animated and illuminated by authentic night lighting, the sounds recorded exclusively from a real Mi-2 helicopter, covering the full range of ground and flight operations, dynamic audio that reacts based on the listener's position relative to the source. On the more unusual end, digital aeronautics have included the ability to shoot single flares and deploy smoke for aerobatic performances. It is a nice touch that does go beyond the usual feature checklist. VR users are also taken care of. It is confirmed to be fully VR compatible. Flight controls can be operated using VR controllers alone, and for those using FSU IPC, lever customization is available via the local VARs list. On the performance side, more broadly, Digital Aeronomics say testing on high-end hardware, specifically that of a Ryzen 9950, paired with a 5080 at Ultra, maintained frame rates comparable to default aircraft at standard airports. Interesting to see what happens. I mean, looking at some of the photos here, I mean, it looks real. I mean, doesn't it look real? And that's where you get this advantage of using these scans, the photogrammetry, just getting so much detail. Both exterior and interior. I mean, you can see by it just looks real. I think it looks fantastic. A very weird and mad, wonderful looking aircraft. You don't see too many of these flying our neck of the woods, or indeed across the pond in the US, but certainly throughout Europe. I mean, the Germans operated some of these for their police forces. Poland, very popular in Poland, and looking forward to giving this a bash. As a helo pilot. It's a big helicopter. It's quite a large chopper. It's worth noting the Mi-2 had a long wait for a quality payware option, so we've covered the Addons announcement of their own hind back in 2024, but the project has gone quiet, you know. Will it come in Sim Update 5? Well, Sim Update 5 is going to be the same aircraft. You know what I mean? 340 just got an update as well. Energizer, good evening to you, buddy. Hope you're well. It looks real. Pretty or not is another question. A bit like myself. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Looking forward to that. It's out tomorrow. We'll more than likely check this one out next week, lads, for the heli flying. So yeah, looking forward to that. Now, Bagaloo's freeware. It's an ICP Savannah. They've brought one of Italy's best loved ultralights into Microsoft Flight Sim. There is a corner of the light sport aircraft world that doesn't get nearly enough attention in Flight Sim, and the ICP Savannah sits right at the heart of it. It is a 2-seat high-wing ultralight made by the Italian manufacturer ICP SRL. The Savannah is one of Europe's most recognisable bush-capable light sporting aircraft, popular in flying clubs from Portugal to Finland. This week, freeware creator Bagaloo released a faithful recreation of the S variant built entirely from scratch using the aircraft's pilot operating handbook and a set of blueprints. Let me say, Carney, good to see you, buddy. B. Carlo, welcome aboard. The native 2020 aircraft runs in 2024 as a legacy port, which means it doesn't take advantage of the new sim features, but it works, right? Bagaloo developed the add-on with the permission of ICP, who have authorised the use of their names and trademarks for the project. Ooh. Power comes from a Rotax 912 ULS, the engine that's practically synonymous with this class of aircraft, and the Savannah S has a cruise speed of about 97 knots, stalls at just 26 knots, right, with full flaps extended, and carries enough fuel for roughly 4 hours of endurance, or 8 if you put in the long-range tanks. It's not a fast aircraft, but it's not supposed to be. It's the kind of plane you load up for a cross-country tour, the Italian lakes at low altitude, with the doors open and wearing shorts. It's a pretty cool thing. This is freeware, right? On the feature side, this is where Bagaloo's work stands out. The aircraft includes an interactive in-game manual, accessible directly from the cockpit, a configuration book that lets you customize the exterior and cockpit setup, a full suite of ground equipment including chocks, tie-downs, and a pitot cover, which you'll want to remove before takeoff. Instrument options include the Garmin Era 500. The aircraft supports also the TDS and PMS GTN 750 units. A Falcon 71 KLN 90 GPS, an optional autopilot is available for those who may want it. A couple of screenshots here to give you an idea. I mean, it's an ultralight. It's going to be as basic can be in terms of the aircraft, but it definitely looks the part, and well, great work here from the developer. 20 liveries also included, each based on real-world Savannah registrations, given the single airframe variety, and those familiar with the creator's previous work knows what to expect, including that Bagaloo brought out, of course, that 172 tail dragger, the amphibian Cessna, a Bush kit variant, and also the Reims rocket. The Reims rocket. Remember that? So it's available right now over on flightsim.to. I shall share the link with you now here in the chat. And if you want to go and grab that, lads, by all means, go ahead and grab it. It's very nice looking. And it's for free. Isn't that brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Now, FS Reborn's Piper M600 is Expert Series number 2, targeting for a June release. We saw this last week on the dev update. Raoul was announced as a first-party partner. Fantastic news. So happy for him. And, well, the aircraft that he's working on as part of that is that of a Piper M600. Now, Raoul brought out the FSR 500, which is basically an M500, the Meridian. This is the slightly bigger one. You know, it has a PT6 engine, all right, Garmin G3000, and over the years, I mean, Raoul brought out the Sting, the FSR 500, and of course work on the Phenom. Just mind-blowing. He also did the TL, or was it the TL 3000, T3000? Raoul just makes really nice airplanes, which is great. But this one now is going to be as part of Microsoft's Expert Series. What was the last Expert Series? Wasn't it the ATR? I think it was the ATR. So, like, you're talking, like, such a contrast. You know what I mean? Anyway, if you followed FS Reborn's work over the years, you'll know that Raoul has never been shy about pushing what's possible in Microsoft Flight Sim. And that's important to note. Raoul does all of this inside the native SDK. He was the first man to build a parachute, a working parachute in the sim, amongst others, right? Amongst other things. So it is very much a natural fit. The M600 is a direct successor to the M500, which is released as the FSR 500. The M600 steps things up considerably on the real aircraft side. It's a PT6A42 turboprop, Garmin G3000 avionics suite, a cruise speed of 260 knots, a ceiling of 30,000 feet, and a range of about 1,600 nautical miles. The M600 is a lot closer to the likes of a TBM. The M500, not so much. The M600, definitely up there with the TBM capabilities. Raoul's presentation during the stream was enthusiastic, to put it mildly. He described the M600 as something he had been privately wanting to do for a long time, and he said that he'd been getting messages about it from the community for years without being able to acknowledge them. The Expert Series placement means it'll reach a broader audience than a standalone third-party release, which is part of the appeal of joining the program. But I think it's very much Microsoft will benefit from Raoul, and Raoul will benefit from Microsoft. It's a match made in heaven, you know. JBS says, when is Sim Update 5? I'm not sure, buddy. They said this week. They didn't say it's delayed, but it could be delayed. They were hoping for this week, but Jorg did say that's the plan. That's what they were aiming towards. But they don't want to release it with bugs. So if it's not this week, they probably found bugs, and hopefully next week. Chris Van Halen, good to see you. Hope you're well. On the system side, the approach follows the same philosophy FS Reborn have applied to its previous aircraft. Every circuit breaker on the panel is mapped by the real aircraft, and it's functional, meaning pulling the wrong one will have the right consequence. The engine simulations includes Halo, FS Reborn's hot start and engine damage system, which has been a signature feature since the FSR 500. You treat that PT6 incorrectly during start, and you'll see and indeed hear about it. Working Title collaborating on the G3000 avionics implementation, bringing their expertise on the Garmin suite to the cockpit. And the screenshots shown during the stream indicate the aircraft is already well advanced. The exterior model is clean and detailed, with a fully modelled engine compartment visible when the cowling is open. The cockpit shows a functional G3000 with the characteristic 3-screen layout, and 3 interior colour options will be available at launch. Something that I always give out to Raoul is like, it's very clean looking. Could you not make it more, not clean looking? And then he sent me photographs, and he's like, Murph, you do realise these sort of aircraft, they're kept spotlessly clean because they're either new or they're flown by companies to fly other people. Yeah. It made sense then, Stevie B is here. Good to see you, buddy. Watch them release it an hour before our Vatson flight tomorrow. Yeah. 100% Naughty Gnome. 100%. They were waiting on me. They said, right, Murphy's back in action now. Sure, we'll go off and release him Update 5, or owners who are very proud of their aircraft. That too. The Phenom 300, Andrew. Yeah, that's Raoul's own project he's working on. That's due out a little bit later this year. This is great news. I can't wait to see it. The target is for a June release, probably Flight Sim Expo, right? Raoul said he would be going through some sleepless nights to get there, which, knowing his track record, probably means he will. Raoul hasn't seen sleep since 1987. But yeah, it's very, very exciting. And there's another advantage here as well, lads. You'll notice that you see the names Piper on the aircraft. That's an important thing to realise, because Microsoft have that agreement with Piper, meaning that there's just a better line of communication, when it all comes true. Mech says, Facecam is delayed. Uh-oh. He already has between the 300 and he's getting very little sleep. Yeah. I spoke to him last night. It was 4 a.m. In fact, Energizer, but Energizer, instead of in fact, you wrote in fart. Did you fart in front of Raoul? Lads, is there a sync issue between me talking and my face moving? Or is it just MechMancer? I don't know. I've nothing on my side telling me things are grand. So all is well. Right. Mech, maybe hit now F5 refresh. We see how we get on. But yeah, I'm very excited to see this aircraft, lads. And of course, the Phenom. I'm chomping at the bit to get the Phenom release. Can't wait to see it. Right, working title. Again, this comes from last week, but we kind of browsed over it. And, well, Vasco went off and gave us a huge, detailed write-up, so I didn't have to, wing it, right? Thank you, lads. Thank you. All good here. Thank you, lads. Your face is fine. Well, as much as it can be. Jesus. Will there ever be a week, right, that Scott doesn't, chop the legs from underneath you? Do you know what I mean? Everton is perfect. Go on, Everton. Just sure you visit Auschwitz, Murph. Yeah. Right, we continue on. So working title, they're working on Embraer's Praetor 600. This is another business jet on the way, lads. The Embraer Praetor first announced back in 2025. The May stream added a little more colour. English Murph, you can do it. Working titles, Matt finally showed what the ambition looks like in practice. So the electrical system covers every individual circuit mapped to the real world position, which is pretty cool. But they went far beyond that. There are so many things on this aircraft that I think they're a first, because the work that Working Title have done with this, in particular when it came to looking at what the engine can do in terms of the torque, the pressure, the temperatures, the fuel, that turbine simulation, this is probably one of the most detailed jet turbine simulations we've seen in flight sim, like at all, right? Fully custom, non-tabular, physical-based turbine simulation, engineering-grade isentropic flow equations. You know those flow equations. Real air consumption, compression, combustion, and expansion. Compressor, fan, and turbine maps. What's an iterative solver? Physically correct reactions to bleed load, accessory load, and also powers, engines, and APU. And you can see all the information coming in here. That is a simulation of just the engine. Right, this is very exciting to see. Other features then, of course, go into the avionics, they go into the electrical system, and also the hydraulic system. It's physics-based, exhaustive real-world hydraulic physics-based simulation, reacting dynamically to load, safety valves, temperature sensors, pressure transducers, accumulators, priority valves, and servos. I mean, this is very much put on the biggest pair of glasses that you own, pour yourself a brandy, and sit there and look very intelligent. That's this level of stuff, which is just great to see. So, yeah, very excited now to see this as well. Again, the advantages of Microsoft partnering with Embraer to showcase their aircraft in the best possible light. I'm very excited to see the Praetor coming out. Very, very excited to see this come out. So, the release seems to be aimed at later this year. Potentially November. Looks like it's going to be a little bit later on. But what they're working on, this looks incredible. Now, for a lot of people, they don't necessarily like seeing all these fancy, glass cockpits with all the information on. But it's just, that's the way the world has gone now with these new avionics units. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, the Praetor, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. So yeah, looking forward to that. Now, new Synaptic Simulations A220 screenshots have been surfaced. Harsh from the Synaptic Discord, one of the developers, well, he went ahead and shared a handful of images of the A220 in action, in particular during a sunset and at night. We got some close-up of the displays in the cockpit, and also a handful of the external shots. No new specific information was shared by the team beyond the previews. I think it's very much to say, hey, look, we're still working on it, and this is how it looks. So we can see from these shots, well, it's looking very, very nice. The A220, of course, the small little regional jet, becoming very popular now from Airbus. It's what started off, I think, wasn't it Bombardier who originally started working on this, and then Airbus bought the project. But the A220, it's a class looking machine. I'm almost certain Edward the pilot, doesn't he fly one of these? Am I wrong? I could be completely wrong, but I thought I saw Edward say he flew an A220. But yeah, there's much excitement about this aircraft coming into the sim. So yeah, C-Series. Wow. The former C-Series. Okay. Looking at the avionics though, and how clear and how crisp everything is. I love this. Absolutely love this. And of course, it follows very much kind of the A350 avionics style, touch glass all over the shop. So good to see the project is very much up and running. There's a beautiful shot of it there as a Swiss livery, right? So no further news, no release date, no nothing, just here's a couple of pictures, but nice to see, right? Dreamflight Studios, they have previewed a version 2 of the Daniel Dubois International Airport. It's in Liberia, Costa Rica. Now, I probably got that completely wrong. Mike Romeo Lima Bravo. Dreamflight Studios also mentioned that it's supposed to be a quick update, has progressed into a full rebuild to bring the airport in line with their more recent airport add-ons. Additionally, the team notes there will be no bumps that could affect operations, which apparently was an issue in the previous version. So if you have the airport, there's a version 2 on the way. And we can see there's a lot of nice detail here. Taxiway markings are perfect, as is the runway textures, and even the grass coming on. Yeah, looking pretty nice here as well. So there is an update, which we don't tend to get a lot of kind of sceneries out that neck of the woods. You know what I mean? I really wish they'd let PS5 users download the data instead of streaming. JBS, dude, yeah, I mean, the PC crowd made such a racket about that. PC now has the ability to do it. With PlayStation, I don't know. I think there's some options with PlayStation. Is there not? Can you not like download some of the aircraft or something? I'm not quite sure. I could be completely wrong. Oh, like photogrammetry. Yeah, no, it requires, that's the way the thing is built. It requires an always on internet connection. You know, it's just the way the sim works. Moving on, FlyX simulations. This is an airport we're checking out tonight, Belfast City. Now, there's two major airports in Belfast. You have Aldergrove and then you have Belfast City. What makes Belfast City stand out? Well, it's right in the docks, out by where, you know, Titanic was built back in the day. Muse fan remembers it well. But there's a brand new scenery. Now, we did have a scenery for Belfast City before. I think it was UK 2000, I think. However, FlyX Simulations, they've brought their rendition. That was brutal, Muse. They've brought their rendition to it. And they're in partnership with iniBuilds, who published this. We're going to check it out tonight. We do have a trailer. We're not playing music because that got me into so much trouble the last time. So I'll play my own music and we'll watch one of these. Oh, look, Jesus, that broke the screen completely. Ooh, how do I do that? Actually, we can do nothing. We'll just roll with it and say nothing. And yeah, we'll play the movie. Now, it is an airport we're going to be checking out tonight, live on stream. But yeah, FlyX Simulations with Belfast City. It's just a new, modern take on the city airport. George Best International, I think that's the name of it. And yeah, we're going to be checking it out here in just a few moments. But as you can see from the feature list, with GSX included as well, we have true to life airport markings, nighttime. We have all the taxiway signage and all the buildings surrounding the airport as well. They've also included a few more in the area. So we'll check it out here now in a few moments. But it looks great. And any airport that's made for Ireland, I'm happy out. Nutty Slack is here. Good to see you. So yeah, great stuff there from FlyX Simulations. Now, located just minutes from Belfast City Centre, George Best Belfast City Airport serves domestic UK routes as well as a few European destinations. A number of airlines utilise it, and such as City Hopper, Logan Air, British Airways, EasyJet, KLM, Aer Lingus Regional. Right, there's got a good few of them. So there's a variety of routes for turboprop regional jet and also the narrow body aircraft. It's available right now over on the English Murph over on the iniBuilds store. You can pick it up for about £11.99 excluding taxes. So as I said, we're going to check this one out here now in a little bit. Dream Flight Studios, they've previewed a massive Teterborough update. Dream Flight Studios have taken to their Facebook page to share 4 preview images of the upcoming all-new Teterborough Airport version 2 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. According to the developer, it was time for a new era, and the airport was rebuilt from the ground up, with Dream Flight Studios adding highly detailed models and upgraded textures throughout. The update comes several years after the developer released the first version back in 2021. This is an airport that I always liked flying in and out of Teterborough. They had that It was the first time I saw it in Microsoft Flight Sim. Do you know at either end of the runway, they have that emergency runoff area? It's almost like quicksand, but it's quick cement. That makes sense? The idea being is it kind of ramps upwards, and it's like a membrane. So if anything kind of goes into it, it's designed to stop or at least slow down. And that was modelled in it. Located in northern New Jersey, minutes away from Midtown Manhattan, Kilo Tango Echo Bravo, Teterboro functions as a gateway for business and private aviation. It's one of the busiest GA airports in the United States. Some 75,000 private jet departures back in 2025. What? Nearly all of the big name fractional jet operators have a presence here at Teterboro, and some of these base their entire fleets here. Several corporate flight departments serving large multinational corporations, investment banks, major news conglomerates, and also based at the airport's FBOs and corporate hangars. And some of the shots we can see, they seem to have included all of that, which looks amazing. Some of the screens that we have here, it looks absolutely brilliant. Signature Aviation, of course, an FBO, and well, we have a couple of these pictures here as well. So definitely a cool airport to fly in and out of. Especially flying over New York City kind of airspace. It's class, you know. So let's see what happens. Flipper Ally, good to see you. I landed there for the Dublin meetup. That was fun. Oh, Belfast, naughty, that's right. That's right, you had to get the bus down. Brilliant. But yeah, brilliant stuff. So looking forward to that. Don't see a date, but it's good to see that Teterboro version 2 is definitely on the way. Now, Backwood Studios' Backcountry Oregon catalogue is now on Contrail. If your idea of good flight involves a grass strip cut into a canyon wall, the smell of pine trees, and absolutely no tower frequency, well then Backwood Studios have been building your dream destination in Flight Sim 2024. This week, the developer's full catalogue of 6 sceneries landed on Contrail, making it easier to pick up one, a few, or the whole set. Most of the lineup is centered on a specific stretch of southern Oregon, the Rogue River Valley and the surrounding backcountry. What makes it interesting is that there isn't just individual airport releases. Together they form something closer to a connected flying region, where the strips share the same landscape and, in some cases, the same roads. The flagship is Hell's Canyon, which was we covered when it was released. We showed this off in the stream a good few times as well. And it packages 9 remote United States Forestry Services maintained airstrips along Snake River. From there, the individual strips build out the region one by one. And there's loads of them. Shady Cove is there, Sutton on Rouge, Winkle Bar, Fly by Night, right? And also Greensboro. So they're all available now, and just as a reminder from MSFS if you're part of the Captain's Club, well, you're going to get a 15% discount that you can use over on Contrail, so you might consider that. There's more news, Murph. I'm using FrameGen. Goose, you're using FrameGen. Go out of town. Now, just hot off the shelves, look at this. I mean, this is live news, breaking news. Got Friends pulls back the curtain on the Taylorcraft, full details pricing, and a May target. Well, back in March, Got Friends confirmed the Taylorcraft would be their final aircraft for 2020 before shifting the entire shebang over to 2024. And since then, we've seen gravity reactive motion in action. Remember all the doors and things moving around, right? Custom physics system that ties cockpit components directly into live flight data. Now with closed beta underway and a release window narrowing, Got Friends have published their full official reveal, and there's a lot to dig into. The timing is not accidental. This week marks 5 years since Got Friends released their first aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim. Brandon used the occasion to share the complete feature set, the studio's backstory, and some key answers the community have been waiting on, including where to buy it and when. I've had the privilege to meet Brandon a couple of times. We have shared many a beer, and just a fascinating person, so terribly passionate about aircraft development, community stuff. Got Friends do incredible stuff. They're just a wonderful team, a great bunch of lads, and yeah, this is very exciting news. And like some of the stuff they can do in the sim, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Alongside the gravity reactive motion system, a full reveal introduces a second technology, get this, CraftPad. It's a clipboard-style interface embedded in the cockpit that the developer describes as a universal customization hub. There's more than 65 configurable options covering realism, avionics, cockpit layout, and settings that persist between your flights. Godfriends say they got the groundwork laid out for this when they brought out the ASME glider, but CraftPad is a substantial expansion of that idea. See here from the screenshot. The pitch is that it'll carry over to future aircraft too, including the Super Cub. The 2024 Modulars environment, Godfriends say the system could eventually support mid-flight engine swaps, wing configuration changes, and even deeper pre-flight customization that has been practical before. The Tailorcraft comes in 4 variants: standard, bush, skis, and floats, each with its own specific mechanics. Ski variants handle snow and ice behaviour, floats include water anchoring and paddle simulation, and the bush configuration adds ground adjustable propeller pitch. 2 engine options are available, the Continental A65 and A85, with a dedicated sound pack for each developed by 270 Inc., who also handle audio of the Wilga and the F4F Wildcat. Incredible aircraft. Fox Fly, thank you very much indeed, buddy. 7 months, man. Thank you very much indeed. On the avionics side, options include the working title GNS 430, PMS's GTN 650, TDS's 650, also a CAP 140, along with an ADF and a tablet with aero navigation. 2025 EFB support is included as well. The realism feature list runs long. Hand crank propeller physics with cylinder compression and windmill starting. That's pretty cool. That means the prop is spinning and should start just by speed, adding fuel and the devil. Carb heat primer, propeller crash simulation, fuel sloshing, camera physics, and headphone simulations. This is pretty cool. The full announcement also shed light on parts of the development process that hadn't been shared before. Godfriends supplemented their reference work with material from a private aircraft within their community, unrelated to heaven-bound aviation. The flight school that inspired the project, that was the Aeroplane aircraft. The reference aircraft was later lost in an accident. The pilot survived, but the team found themselves short of material at a critical point. They turned back to the community, more Tailorcraft owners stepped in, and the development continued. Certainly an unfortunate detail, and it does give the project a bit more weight. The Tailorcraft will be priced at $24.99 available for both PC and Xbox. Purchases through the Godfriends website or Contrail will include both variants, and the instant marketplace, it'll appear as a 2020 purchase with a 2024 upgrade classed as free. Godfriends confirmed they plan to coordinate with Microsoft to release both marketplace versions simultaneously, using the same approach they took with the Aeropract. Without that coordination, there's typically a gap between 2020 and 2024 listings. The team say they'd rather absorb a small delay than create purchase confusion. The developer confirmed on the community forum the target is May, with beta testing on track for a mid-month release. Fantastic news. So very much looking forward to this aircraft. It looks gorgeous. It does look gorgeous. And like the Godfriends aircraft, you just have a lot of fun with them. They are built so well. I still say the F4F is one of the finest warbirds we have in the sim, just from the sheer amount of stuff they poured into it. And general aviation, the backcountry, bush flying, this thing seems to have it all. So very much looking forward to this. We will have to do some flight. It's not going to be fast. But sure, these sort of airplanes, you don't need the speed. You know what I mean? So yeah, great stuff there. Now, speaking of great stuff, Pips Priller, Time Machine Designs, right? We covered these guys a couple of times. They did the Iron Age stuff. They did, of course, Hadrian's Wall, that I'm still eagerly waiting for a 2024 release. They're working on it. But they also told us last year at FS Weekend that they were working on a new project, and it was to be RAF Kenley. This was going to be a replication of a 1940s World War II installation, right? Flying Iron has been a bit quiet, actually. That's a good sign, because I know the lads are very busy, Energizer, and they are very busy. It's a good sign. They're doing a lot of stuff over there. So yeah, I think they'll blast back onto the newsreel soon with Flying Iron, you know. But I wanted to show you this trailer in case you didn't see it, because this is what they're working on thus far. It's work in progress. And what they've done, they're using all sorts of technology, but they're also using official historic data to recreate this 1940s airfield, RAF Kennedy. And what's pretty cool about it is the detail that the lads have managed to grab here. It is nothing short of freaking class, right? So I'll show you this video and have a quick look at it. It only goes on for 30 seconds or so. We'll play it, but what they've managed to do, you can see it, with all the building layout. I mean, this is exactly as it was in 1940. Some of the work that some of the works that the lads have been doing here, you know, they looked at the official RAF plans, they looked at blueprints, they had reference photographs, and they had all these things. You know, Rodrigo, good to see you, buddy. So as you can see from the buildings, the layout, the vehicles, this thing is designed to be, you can go walking around this as if you're back in the 1940s. And I remember talking to Richard, he was like, we need to do like a massive group flight out of here. You know what I mean? So Hayden says, Murph, me gran lived 25 metres from the boundary of RAF Kennedy throughout the Second World War. No way, man. That's incredible. That's incredible, man. But yeah, you can see it. Look, all these kind of buildings. These are called Belfast hangars. That was the design of them, the style of them. You might, if you know, any of you familiar with, like, you know, airports up the north, especially maybe in Ireland, in Baldonnel, same kind of hangar layout. These designs, the RAF just kind of mass produced them, as they did with their kind of barracks and so on. You know. Energizer, thank you very much indeed. Jesus, nearly 30. Thank you very much, buddy. You heard so many stories, Hayden. That's awesome. Rodrigo says, glad to be here. Dude, it's great to see you, buddy. Great to see you. Carenado, how was New Zealand? It was awesome. Oh, it was amazing, dude. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm very excited to see this because anywhere we look at in the sim, right? You know, when we're looking at these old airfields, and you can still see a lot of them today. You can see, you know, overlooking the maps or overflying terrain. You see where the runways are broken up, or you're looking at kind of fields and you're thinking, hey, was there a runway here? What they've managed to do, or what they're working on, I mean, you're talking crew quarters, officers' mess, NCO's mess, airmen's mess. You're looking at training facilities. You're looking at fueling facilities. You're looking at the whole shebang, maintenance facilities, the whole lot. So, you can follow on that story over on the official forums, but like a lot of the pictures that they have and what they're working towards, it's actually quite fascinating, and it's very much alive. So they have, like, here's a photograph that was taken on the 8th of September 1940, right? And here's what they're working on in the sim to reproduce it. I love that. And don't forget, like, what Time Machine Designs do, it's all about historical accuracy, so much so that this stuff is used by universities. And you can, like, this is the access that they had. They went off, they did archaeological work, they went off and figured out where things used to be. You can see it here. This is from the site. This is an old anti-aircraft mount, right? With Beauforts lined up over there as well, and where you can see it here. So this is where things stand, if you like, currently at the airport. So they're trying to, you know, where is everything? How's everything? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's fascinating stuff, I think. A great shot of it there now of how everything looked. So it's pretty cool that they could do this. And again, they're giving you the full rundown of all the work that they're doing, including the 3D modeling and how, you know, all this is put together. Even the vehicles they're adding in, look. It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's pretty cool. So I don't have a release date just yet. I do know the lads are working on it. But yeah, I'm going to be very interested looking at this, because I don't know what it is. It's with any scenery that comes out, I'm always a fan of kind of go explore it, right? But if they're doing this sort of historical accuracy and like real historical accuracy here, because it's done by universities, professors are involved in this thing, teams of people, Botsuma, I think, are behind a lot of it as well. So their ability to kind of uncover the past, this is pretty cool. I mean, you're literally taking a step back in time to kind of experience this layout and see what it was like. And like, what a great platform to be able to do things like that using Microsoft Flight Simulator. The whole world has been modeled on a 1-to-1 scale, right? So it makes total sense. So yeah, I'm very excited to see where they go with that. Here's a look at the main block with the officer's mess. It's just class, absolutely deadly, right? But anyway, we shall move on and keep an eye on that. Now, FS Weekend have announced their 2027 show dates and also a new venue. FS Weekend have officially announced today that their next Flight Sim event will run on the 3rd and 4th of April after a period of unprecedented growth and a record-breaking 2026 event. Flight Sim Weekend is moving to a new convention centre, Expo Houten, which is in Utrecht, located in the heart of the Netherlands. Since its inception in 1998, FS Weekend has evolved from a local enthusiast gathering into an internationally recognised trade show. The 2026 event saw attendance climb to nearly 5,000 visitors, prompting the move to a more central, high-capacity facility that can support the global flight sim community. Now, it's important to note that 5,000 number, my understanding that's over the 2 days. It's not just 1 day, right? Expo Houten sits right alongside key transport routes, such as the A27, making it straightforward to access. It's also well connected via the Netherlands' main rail hub. Reliable local public transport. For international visitors, location is particularly convenient, being under 45 minutes away from Amsterdam's Schiphol, either by train or car. Lelystad was kind of the same. It was on the rail line as well. The only problem is you couldn't get to the actual airport, which was a pain. So it's kind of the same with this expo place. There's no rail near it. You can get the train into Utrecht, but then you'd have to get a taxi or something out to the expo area. So yeah, the lads are saying FS Weekend has reached a pivotal moment by moving to Utrecht. We're placing the event in the most accessible spot in the country. I don't know. Travel logistics, further announcements. We're waiting to hear what happens. I will say this, there is about a large dog or maybe a small horse amount of drama brewing in the background, but when I've more kind of facts, we'll talk about it. But yeah, there's a bit of drama going on behind the scenes here, methinks, about the move and why they're moving, and also, you know, if it ran at an event. It's a hard one to call. Like, anyone who went to FS Weekend, I think we all had the same kind of feedback. It was busy. There wasn't enough there wasn't enough amenities, if that makes sense, right? As in catering, jacks, that kind of stuff. You were limited, right? So moving to a new venue is always good for these. I mean, these expo halls, they're built for this kind of thing, so you kind of understand it. The only thing I would say, I think if you can mix real aircraft with these Flight Sim Expos or FS Weekends, I think that just combines the best of the best. It's so cool, you know, walking around like a museum. It's like what we had in Houston. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. But you have logistics problems. And where FS Weekend and Lelystad, also brilliant, you have these logistical issues. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Exciting news, but we know that FS Weekend is coming back next year, and it's going to be on in April, and it is using a new venue. You know what I mean? It took about an hour and a half to get food. Yeah, it was crazy, Eamon. Crazy, you know. So now that could all be sorted easily. Bit of planning, right? But yeah, it was crazy. Houston was awesome, but we outgrew it. Well, I don't know, man. I think the problem with Houston was you needed transport, you know. Like, I think, put it this way, I really think last year, and I didn't think it was going to be good, because I was like, what? I think Providence was one of the best flight sim expos in terms of location, what was available around you, logistics to and from. I thought it was brilliant. So this year it'll be interesting to see how they get on, you know. Anyway, so that's good news there. Now, speaking of Flight Sim Expo, the River Centre at St. Paul, well, FS Elite were there with Evan, and they went off and they showcased what was going on at the event. So basically, they went for a walk around. I'll pop this up here. They went for a walk around at the venue, just to give an idea of, well, what can you expect from FS Expo this year. So it's a huge facility, huge hall, loads of stairs, escalators and all the jazz, massive space there for all the exhibitors to showcase what they're doing. We know there's going to be a huge presence here from the flight sim community, from both hardware and software, which is always great to hear. So they also announced some of their kind of extracurricular activities as well. So Yeah, very much looking forward to this. Evan and Callum just had a chat about it, where people are going to be, you know, what it's going to be like. I thought this was pretty cool as an insight. I don't know how far ahead of the event they can do this, but I'd say, like, if there's still developers on the fence considering, you know, should we have a presence at FS Expo? Well, I think if you're in the United States, it's kind of a no-brainer, especially, like, I would like to see more announcements made on the Friday. It's weird that you get these announcements from developers outside of FS Expo. Kind of takes away from it. You know, it should be like the premier event. This is where this is the show if you want to learn about what's going on with developers. And sometimes, you know, you'll see developers just release their own information a week or two before, or, you know what I mean? I thought it'd be just nicer. I think it'd be nicer if you're there.
Get a refund?
No, there's no refunds. If you just do a big announcement while you're there, you know. Makes me wonder, is it pushing the size limit? Yeah, I don't know. Commander Balosh, good to see you. Sky Command is here, good to see you. Tickets are sold out, right? That's just my thoughts on it. Like, when you get announcements at Flight Sim Expo, or indeed at Flight Sim Weekend, that atmosphere of people going, wow, or cool, or it's awesome. It really is. It's brilliant. It's great to be caught up in it, do you know? But anyway, tickets are still available for the event, as are the extracurricular activities. They include airport tours. They're doing a 5K charity run on your bike. Not for the charity, but for the running. I'll help the charity. And there's other things going on there as well. So, yeah, Flight Sim Expo ramping up to be, well, just a great follow-on to what we had last year. So let's see what happens. Now, a freeware web tool has become available that handles route planning, fuel calculations, and weather all in one go. Pre-flight planning, it's one of those things that you can either pull you deeper into your hobby or push you away from it. SimBrief has long been the go-to for serious simmers, and tools like PerFlight have also done a good job of wrapping up the pre-session workflow. But a new web tool called Plan to Sim is taking a different angle. Strip it right back and get the essentials done in seconds. The concept, well, is straightforward. You enter a departure, a destination, select your aircraft type. Plan to Sim then generates an optimized IFR route, calculates your fuel, pulls in live meter and TAF weather data for both airports, and presents a runway layout for your departure and arrival. The interface is clean, minimal. A route map shows the waypoints plotted between the origin and destination, while the right-hand panel breaks down loads and weights, including total fuel, trip fuel, and reserve fuel, alongside zero fuel weight, takeoff weight, and also your estimated landing weight as well. Payload is accounted for too, with passengers, baggage, and commercial load all factored into the calculation. Export is a key part of the pitch. It supports direct exports to VATSIM and IVAO, also a PDF briefing sheet with over 66 file formats covering a range of simulators and aircraft. The route generation also offers variants. The tool presents a base route alongside at least one alternative, letting you compare options before committing. It's a free web-based tool, and it's called plan2sim.com. Might be worth a look. I've never had an issue with SimBrief to kind of look elsewhere, but interesting to see that maybe there's features here, or, you know what I mean? A bit of competition is good. Now, moving on, kind of SimBrief neck of the woods, well, the Navigraph survey results have been revealed. The numbers are in, they tell a clear story. 2024 has officially become the most used platform in flight simulation. According to the 2026 Flight Sim Community Survey, Navigraph had over 42,000 participants take part in it, the largest edition of the survey to date. The platform shift is real. Which one is... So of the 44,000, these are their figures, right? But anyway, almost 50% of that 44,000 are using Flight Sim 2024 as their primary sim. Now, it's still notable to say that there's almost 28% still using 2020. But I think now we can see it. The shift has happened. There are more people using Flight Sim 2024 now than 2020. X-Plane, it's there. I don't know, lads. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, X-Plane, I think it's a great sim, right? I mean, we flew it yesterday. It looks incredible, but it's not Microsoft Flight Sim. And either because the cost to entry for some of those third-party aircraft, right? Or people just don't want the headache and faff of setting up another sim. I don't actually know. Or maybe that the X-Plane 12 pilots are not as vocal when it comes to like these, these surveys. Just thought the number was very low in comparison. That's all. So like about 10% of the 44,000 are using X-Plane. GeoFS, X-Plane 11, P3D, DCS World, way down. Way down. Have anyone switched in the last 12 months? 54% saying no, 30% saying yes. So yeah, it's been interesting. X-Plane is nice. I'm tempted to buy it. I need to spend some more time in X-Plane. It is a great sim. Yeah. Phoenix leads when it comes to the aircraft. Phoenix absolutely first row center. Then we have BMDG's 737 fleet. Then we have PMDG's 777 fleet. The iniBuilds A350 is there. Then we have fly-by-wire, and iFly is in the mix as well. But without a doubt, between Phoenix and PMDG, they pretty much wrap up a lot of the most popular airliners. Now that changes every now and again depending on aircraft releases, depending on updates, but certainly at the time that's what they were looking at. It went into then hardware, and then what's the most anticipated anticipated aircraft people are looking for, and so on. It's a very good survey. There's nothing in it though that kind of shocked me. But then again, nothing's really happened in the sim that kind of shocked me. We know Phoenix is incredible. We know that iniBuilds aircraft are getting bigger and better. PMDG have updated the fleet, controversially, of course. When it comes to hardware, I think Main Control and Moza are absolutely smashing it. Plus, the likes of the newcomers onto the scene, like Rosefire and all these lads, there's changes there. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can understand why DCS is low as the main users of it don't need Simbri for Navigraph. Yeah, 100%. 100%. They don't need it. That's why you're going to get a very low turnout. Like, it'd be more interesting to see, to the average flight simmer, how many flight sims do they have? That's a better question. I mean, I have Microsoft Flight Sim. I have X-Plane. I have DCS as well. I don't really use it. Like, they're my two main sims. Are you the same? Do you have a different sim? Do you have multiple sims? Are you only interested in one sim? That's a more interesting question, I think. Do you know? But anyway, the results are in. You can read the full results over on the Navigraph website. It is interesting. Nothing kind of jumped out at me though to go, ooh, that's a big change. You know what I mean? Apart from 2024. But sure, we knew that between Sim Update 3, Sim Update 4, and now very soon Sim Update 5. Do you know? The World Update, just a reminder, they're heading down to Australia for World Update 21. And also the local legend, the Boomerang, is a new aircraft. Number of updates that we're going to see in Australia. It'll also come with 3 discovery flights, precision landings, and all that kind of stuff. The main thing is we're going to get photogrammetry for Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Canberra, Perth, and Darwin. Significant upgrades, with Melbourne alone gaining around 2,500 square kilometers of photogrammetry. That's awesome. That is awesome. So, yeah. I want to try on the PlayStation, says Heisenberg. Yes. Phoenix have held that spot for a while. They have, Lenny. They absolutely have. DCS is just another animal. I agree. Upcoming DCF nav data would be extremely a large effort. DCF itself didn't seem interested. Yeah, Cold Nevo. They've because it's modular based or linear levels, missions, areas, But yeah, I mean, look, there's still a user base there, right? But I would think the likes of Navigraph, that kind of goes out the window because a lot of the real world routes in areas of conflict, they go out the window. They go out the window. But the main news, I think, over the last couple of days, FSLTL is losing Flight Radar 24 live traffic on the 30th of April. This is quite immediate. So Flight Radar 24, it's a website I use quite a bit, and I'm subscribed to it. They have decided to stop their free tier of providing ADS-B data. That's basically saying when an airplane tracks or transmits its position, Flight Radar 24 was able to share it onto other people. So what does it mean for the likes of FSLTL? And they're not the only ones affected. A lot of them are affected by this. Basically what it means, they no longer have the moving traffic data coming in. They can still show what's going on at an airport so far as, well, the following aircraft are due to depart, right? So that's kind of like a static world. That's what they mean by that. But in terms of where the aircraft are going to, they don't have access to that, and they will lose access to that on the 30th of April. Some other companies, and we'll talk about SayIntentions in a moment, they're not affected whatsoever by this. Some other companies don't use that live ADSB stuff. They use like a schedule base, where they'll get a list of all the flights on a schedule and then populate them in. Just Flight did that with the traffic add-on as well. You know what I mean? Saw a news release where they said they never gave it for free. Who was this with, Scott? This is with Flight Radar. They had a free tier there, but they weren't expecting like lots of people to use it. You know, you just started FSLTL a month ago. It was a free. It's free. And what it did, it provided the models and also the injection of traffic in your sim, which is pretty cool, right? But you no way to, as an injector, you couldn't interact with it, right? So where they're kind of left, I haven't seen any other announcements just yet. You can use a real traffic subscription to replace it using PSXT, right? AIG is another free option that covers scheduled traffic, right? But it all comes down to how often those schedules are updated, right? I think FSLTL are not necessarily going to push this. They're it doesn't work. It doesn't work. They'll probably just continue just using it as a static area. Do you know what I mean? But we'll jump back into this here now in a moment. Sim Update 5, yes, we know the crack. There's nothing really to cover here based on what we've already spoken about tonight, based on what Sim Update 5 is bringing. Right, so we know VR support, we know the new marketplace, and also the aircraft and avionics update is due to come out as well. They also announced their upcoming roadmap for the remainder, or at least the halfway point of this year, up as far as October. And we can see we have Expert Series Embraer is at the end of the year. We're going to have a base aircraft announced in July, a local legend in August, a local legend in September, which is good to see. Sim Update 5, then we're going to see June, July, Sim Update 6, July, August, Sim Update 17, which is 2020, and then September, October, Sim Update 7. So there's still 2 more Sim Updates we're due to get in 2024 this year, which is interesting. And then we have a City Update, World Update, City Update, World Update, City Update. They still have a good few more to go this year as well. So yeah, pretty cool there. Now, when it comes to SayIntentions, right, we're going to start off with SayIntentions because they have a very fancy, all fandangled, updated, beautiful website, brand new shampoo. And the idea behind this, of course, is to make the information easier to get to, faster response times. That's the idea. So do check out the new SayIntentions.ai website. They've done incredible stuff here. It's so fast, it's very responsive, and it's very, very clear. Incredible stuff. What we're going to start off with, though, it's a statement regarding the change from Flight Radar. So, Flight Radar discontinuing their free live data feeds for real-time traffic information. We know that has raised a lot of questions. However, it does not affect SayIntentions.ai. It doesn't affect them at all. They don't use ADSB. They never have. What SayIntentions do, it's fundamentally different. They use real-world gate-to-gate scheduling data, then they sequence that traffic themselves. No ATC system that sequences traffic can use live data. That's because there's no way to sequence you into the mix, right? So SayIntentions, they do their own thing. They recognize that it'll have a big impact on the FSL-TL traffic injector, so it is a good time to remind people that SayIntentions customers should not use that injector or any other third-party injector. If you have a SayIntentions.ai subscription, you just use the SayIntentions injector. You know, you can still use the models, the model library, right, from FSLTL or AIG or Just Flight, but SayIntentions traffic injector is what you want to be using, do you know? SayIntentions invest heavily in maintaining high-quality, properly licensed real-world traffic data. It costs thousands of dollars to keep it updated, and they are proud to make that investment as part of this subscription model because that is what premium flight sim service looks like. So they just wanted to chime in just to let people know, hey, our services are not at all affected by this. We don't even use that data. They have their own. So, yeah, SayIntentions customers are very, very safe. Beyond ATC have a similar, they use kind of scheduled information as well, but it's nowhere near the same update frequency as what SayIntentions have. But it's crazy what these guys have. in terms of the scheduling information, and it's the next level. It just is. So that was the statement from them in relation to FSLTL and Flight Radar. Now, the other couple of changes on their website, they've revamped a number of different areas, and one of them, of course, is the Virtual Alliance or the Virtual Airline Alliance program, and we have some very fancy new graphics and images of all the different VAs that are working with SayIntentions, and you can click on any of these, and it brings you to their respective websites. We're in there as well. I have to go looking, but we are in there. I need to ask them for a higher spot. Here, put us up the top there, will you? But it's, as I said, the website just goes a lot faster. It explains things a lot more easier, I think, and you just get the idea. Also, when it comes to their checklists, explaining what checklists do and how they work and how you can make them work, and it's just a nice, what do they call it, a UX or a UI? It's just a nice UI enhancement. A lot of work has gone into building this site, but I think anyone now who rambles over there will appreciate this is a lot better. It's easier to follow. It loads a lot faster, and I think they've done a great job, Malky says, I need to sort that out for being FFA. Come on, Malky, that's how to do it. And then, of course, we can see the AI living world, and this is where I think right now, especially SayIntentions, it blows my mind, because when you have this traffic injection, you load it in and you sit in an airport, it's like the whole thing comes to life. It's amazing. It really is amazing. And I've always said it, like, SayIntentions, it's far more than just the ATC element. Considering that you have the traffic injection, you have SkyOps, you have groupie that we're doing on our group flights, and there's more updates coming. Like, there is so much stuff that these guys are working on, but most importantly, they also work on bug fixes and just making sure things are running the way they need to, and that goes into Pocket Sky as well. Again, explains what Pocket Sky is. Basically, you can use this on the go. Even the flight we were doing the other day, like, my watch is linked to my phone, so my phone gets Pocket Sky messages. It comes up on my phone. I can see or comes up my watch. I can see what's going on. If ATC are talking to me, read back messages, all that stuff is there. Plus, you could do all the airport monitoring, looking for traffic, looking for multiplayer traffic, taxiway paths, right? So the taxiway path from ATC, we're waiting to get this with Navigraph. SayIntentions already have this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's very, very good. If I use SayIntentions injection, should I turn off the Microsoft Flight Sim injection? Yes, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. But yeah, it's absolutely class. Plus, they have their own scratch pad. They've had this long before Navigraph had it. So there's a lot to look with Pocket Sky. It's a great little companion app. So the news that they were working on over the last 2 weeks, Navigraph have worked in the SayIntentions ATIS integration, meaning this is now a new source in your Navigraph charts that you can go in and check on the SayIntentions ATIS, which is class, right? So what we have here, the ATIS and runway selection has now been ported over. Navigraph can read it and see it. There's been updates down to the ATC and traffic improvements. Whoa, massive raid from Kenko. Good evening, Kenko. Good evening, lads. Happy Wednesday. Thank you very much indeed for the raid. We're just here talking about the news of what's going on. And we're talking all things SayIntentions here at the moment. Just with the updates, they have a brand new website, fully updated, and just catching us up on their newsletter, whereby, you can get ATIS information directly now in Navigraph, which is pretty cool. And also the runway selection is transferred over. They have made updates to their ATC and traffic improvements, CPLDC or CPDLC phraseology improvements, and they're also working with wind control and stuff. A lot of news in this one. Columba, thank you very much. Vinyl Rabbit, welcome in. Ian loves the news. Levitating Grav, good to see you. Ollie, you're very welcome in. And Kenko, thank you very much indeed. And with a resub, thank you very, very much indeed. Ian, I hope you're well, buddy, and thank you so very much indeed for the raid and bringing your guys over. Lads, I hope you had a great stream. And well, you're very welcome in. Grab an old cup of tea there, and sure, listen, we'll talk the news, right? But you're very welcome in. So yeah, the SayIntentions.ai ATIS and runway selection coming into Navigraph. I remember we were talking, it must be maybe 2 months ago, and I think it was Toto who was flying. We were in a flight and he said, oh no, SayIntentions gave me a different runway than what you guys are getting on VATSIM. And it makes sense. I mean, you follow ATC and the winds were kind of variable. But now we can use and utilize runway selection and changes as a source when it comes to planning our flights using Navigraph, which I thought was very handy. Very, very handy. But yes, loads of stuff. Where's this now? I love me SkyOps missions, says Vinyl Rabbit. Yeah, they're so good. SkyOps is awesome. So are you doing the best of intentions off-world? Very good. Best of intentions. Very good. Flying Trits, good evening. AvGeek is here. Welcome in. Columba, welcome aboard. You're very welcome in, lads. So you can use SayIntentions as a source for runway selection in Navigraph. Keep your charts aligned with the same conditions ATC is using. Jump directly to Addons when selecting departure or arrival runways. And you can see the current runway usage and airport information tied in from your flight. You can also control how the ATIS sources behave. You can disable any ATIS source you don't want, or you can choose which provider charts should prioritize. So if you use Navigraph and SayIntentions, they recommend setting SayIntentions as your ATIS source in Navigraph. Other updates that they did, their ATC and traffic improvements. ATC and traffic continues to be a major focus, constantly working to improve how things behave in the real world scenarios. And this is like from last week. I've more news on this. But basically what they've done, they're able to expanded head-on conflict prevention, including user to AI interactions, which is user to AI. You can talk, you can communicate. Traffic improved AI behavior during pattern work, taxiing and runway interactions. Fixed a rare issue where runway numbers could be missing from takeoff clearances. IF4 fixed an issue where there was the same airport IF4 flights. And this is just like a spoonful amount of all the fixes and stuff that goes on in the background. Over on their Discord server, you'll literally see the updates. There's multiple updates every day of what they're working on. And we showed that off, was it yesterday or the day before? If you file a bug, you have an option where to click on it to say, hey, I want feedback on this. And you only do that if you need feedback. If you're going to say, hey, I need you to come back on this because, well, is it my problem? Is it your problem? But there is a way that SayIntentions are able to look and say, okay, here's the report coming in. This is where it's logged. We go to the next stage and so on and so forth. But there's also a way then that they can go back to you and say, right, we've checked it out. Yeah, we could reproduce it and we found there was an issue. And before you know it, it's going to be flagged as fixed. Do you know? Zurich Tower, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Jared is here. Good to see you. Jared says, SkyOps is a blast. I love that you can have AI make up your own custom mission. It's nuts. You go into the scheduler for SkyOps. You go into the mission board. You can put in your own backstory, right? They have taken the hobbits to Isengard, right? And you can go off and do your own mission, and then the whole thing is reading this back to you. It's insane. The customization options with it are insane. That could be for VIP transport. It could be search and rescue, medical ops, all the kind of stuff. Cargo if you want. It's the sky's the limit, to use that overused phrase. But you can do a lot with it. You know what I mean? Now, Wing Control, in case you've missed it at FS Weekend, Wing Control announced an array of new hardware, and they've partnered with Wing Control on the release. Is that still active, I wonder? Jared, is that still active at the thing? Practically Geek is here. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you are well. I've been learning the Phoenix. You're learning airliners. Great fun. Great fun. I go into SkyOps and I say I have an hour and I need a cargo mission, and they make it for me. No longer need to figure out what time I have. Yeah. You can tell them exactly. Yeah. Oh, it's class. And you can make up your own as well. It's absolutely brilliant, you know, absolutely brilliant. But I use SayIntentions regularly. Really need to get into the helis before I do a good the SkyOps stuff. You can do those missions on fixed wing. It doesn't have to be just on the rotary wing. You can definitely do them on fixed wing. So with SkyOps, it gives you an option to do search and rescue and retrieve, or just search and rescue, report the position. It's pretty cool. Like, think of it like you can do a maritime patrol mission, for instance, right? You just need to fly over a certain area and spot and report back, and then the emergency services will go in and do it. So they have the options of both. But yeah, so SayIntentions and Wing Control, they've partnered up for this release, and if you purchase the TCAS panel, you will receive a voucher in the box for 50% off 1 month of SayIntentions, valid for new subs only, and the panel designed to work alongside your setup in the sim. So anyone who grabs that, just be aware, if you're buying it from Wing Control, SayIntentions have a voucher inside that for 50% off their first month for new members, which is pretty cool. The CPDLC phraseology improvements have also been rolled out. For example, instead of longer messages like expect the arrival in about 20 minutes, it's now more streamlined. I'll start your descent, clear direct. It's just now like pretty much what you'd see in the real world. Expect the arrival, expect descent at that time, proceed to. Similarly, conversational messages like I'm not seeing your transponder, confirm squawking 4475. It's now simplified to confirm squawk 4475. These are the phraseology changes that they're making to it's based on feedback and what the lads can see themselves. Then there was a recap from FS Weekend, and it was like FS Weekend was a ton of fun, getting to meet so many people, and you know I was there with the lads having the chat. We gave him an interview. It's great crack, and it was just class to see. And for Jared, that was his first flight sim kind of meetup. So what a way to experience it, you know. But the most recent updates I wanted to talk to you about. They have done some major ATC sequencing, ATC updates, pilot spotlight, and then feature spotlight. I want to talk to you about the ATC sequencing improvements. They've rolled out a major set of improvements of how ATC manage aircraft across the entire operation. And that's anything from pushback to your final approach. So the changes focus on flow, spacing, and timing, and the most noticeable at busier airports or higher traffic levels. Pushback coordination has been significantly improved. Aircraft are managed more efficiently at the gate, reducing the congestion when multiple aircraft are preparing. You might now hear on frequency traffic passing behind you, hold position, or crossing behind you, hold position, or stand by for pushback. Right? It's learning that, your traffic behind you. And yes, there's going to be different kind of phraseology things. For example, they might say traffic passing behind you from right to left. You hear that in some of the European places. Your arrival flow, this is pretty cool, because this is just pretty cool. You'll now hear things like, you know, Delta 333, reduce speed to 200 for traffic, or KLM 1975 heavy, slow to 160 knots for spacing, or speed 170 knot, A350 5 miles ahead, or go around, traffic still on the runway. They're adding all of these things into it now. So your sequencing, getting from either your initial point fix or your initial approach fix, like if there's going to be a hold, they'll hold you, right? But the fact that you're getting these speed changes, this adds so much realism, because as you're flying, I mean, you can see your ADSB, you can hear what's going on in the frequency. You mightn't be terribly sure what's going on. And then when ATC are telling you, hey, you need to slow down, reduce speed now to 170, or you might hear reduce to final approach speed, right? And you kind of push the system, unable, this is the best I have, and then it'll figure it out. All right, okay, it'll sequence something else. It's class what it's able to do now. Then there's these new conditional landing clearances, because this is fascinating. We don't really get conditional landing clearances in Europe, right? You just don't. In America, you do. And in Canada, you do, as I learned the hard way. But for example, you could get something in North America to say, you know, Firefly 235, number 2, clear to land, or clear to land, number 2, right? Or number 2 behind the company. You can get cleared to land, a conditional cleared to land behind traffic. In Europe, we don't really get that. You usually get, you know, your number 2, continue approach. This kind of stuff. So what they've now added they've added that in, right? So you'll hear now something like Delta 1221, number 3 behind the A380, runway 23 left, clear to land, caution, wake, turbulence. That is deadly, right? And in regions where conditional clearances aren't used, ATC will delay the clearance. Instead, it'll say something like number 2 behind the Airbus, expect a late landing clearance. Like, that's class, you know? Energizer says, Murph, I might try SayIntentions for a month. Do you have a referral link? Drop me a DM, Energizer. We'll get you sorted. Lads, you just have to try it. It's just getting better and better. You just have to try it, right? Runway operations as well, runway configurations. They can now shift based on the time of the day and day of the week scheduling. So we've seen this at some airports. Heathrow does it, right? Doesn't Heathrow change runways after a certain time of the day? That's now included. Don't think it's necessarily for Heathrow, but there are dynamic runway usage in the real world. Airports change them for many different reasons, and there's now a foundation in place for SayIntentions to do the same. It can simulate the same sort of stuff, be it there's traffic, there could be works going on. They can figure this one out and change it. So be aware that, you know, you filed for all of this, and next thing ATC jump on the blower and say, yeah, the runway's changed. It can happen now, right? Descent profiles have also been done, more accurate star handling, better compliance with waypoint crossing restrictions. So they'll say, you know, cross Aegina at 6,000. This kind of stuff. And then they have smoother, more realistic descent planning. And remember, it's very important as well, you have some options in the pilot portal on how you want the ATC to act to you. Does it want to treat you as a beginner, or does it want to treat you as an experienced user? You have those options inside the pilot portal. So make sure you check those out as well. And have a bit of a play around with it, right? Have a bit of a play around with the settings. We'll do a deeper dive into the pilot portal again and all the settings. What I'd like to do is maybe do a stream just for new folks who want to set up SayIntentions, they want to give it a blast. We might just do a stream one of the days just to focus on it, and we'll all do it all together. We'll set everything up, our hardware, the audio, the whole shebang. We'll all load in at an airport and take it from there. So if that's something you'd like to see, do let me know. Put ones in chat. We can get a quick count then. And if I don't see any, I'm still going to do it. I have to retest in South America again, but I found that North America works better than us in the South. Okay. Heathrow changes every day at 3 p.m. Yes, the hard way. Thank you, Naughty Gnome. Bit gutted because I'm aiming to do FS Weekend 27. Would I love to see in Lelystad? Yes, you still might. You wouldn't know. Cy Murray is in the house. Thank you very much indeed. 56 months. Cheers, buddy. Cheers. But yeah, no, we'll do that with SayIntentions because it's just class. Like if you're on your own and you just want to go flying and there's no coverage, or even if there is coverage and you just don't want to deal with, like, you know, just it's perfect. Or if you want to learn with it, you want to start training something, you know, or you just want that extra level of immersion and realism to say this is pretty cool. It's class, lads. It is class. And that's before we even look at SkyOps. You're sitting on the ramp, go off and make a cup of tea, turn on your favorite episode of Father Ted. Your phone will make a sound to say, hey, we got a mission for you. Do. Right? You can do all that. So it's class. Absolutely class. So phenomenal work from the team at SayIntentions. And like the other stuff that work, like it's mind-boggling the stuff the lads are working on. Mind-boggling. But it's to reassure folks, because when you see a lot of features, you're kind of thinking, oh, but I still have this problem. Just know that the feedback, the development and bug fixes, that takes up the vast majority of all developers' time within SayIntentions. It's over 80%. So these small little features, these are the guys who don't do the tech support. They're just like, we'll try this, we'll do that. Plus then they've updated the website. They're trying to make it more accessible, easier to understand, and easier just to get along with the product, because it is a phenomenal product. It really, really is. Heisenberg says, I had SayIntentions for over a year. Really helps with the ATC lingo. 100%. Gadget is here. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Right, so we're going to have a crack at this. The iniBuilds L-1011 TriStar. Now, this is not going to be new for a lot of you, but for me, it's new because I didn't get a chance to see it, right? Now, what's fascinating about the aircraft, it's on the marketplace for, what, $40, is it? About $40. What's fascinating about the aircraft is not just the history, the nostalgia, and all that kind of jazz, for which there is a lot. The systems on this thing are absolutely insane, right? Absolutely insane. Practically geek, put on the kettle, we're in your neighborhood. So what we have here is the L-1011, and we get a couple of different variants with this aircraft. The TriStar for Flight Sim 24 brings one of aviation's most distinctive wide-body aircraft to life with an exceptional level of depth and authenticity. From the iconic tri-jet layout to the advanced systems for its era, every detail has been carefully developed using real-world data and extensive reference material. The systems with the aircraft has detailed the Rolls-Royce B211 engines, fully simulated triple INS system, integrated performance management, accurate direct lift control, fully interactive flight engineer, and it'll help you along as well. It also has that the INS and kind of SimBrief integration. Unbelievable unbelievable, right? And that's only the systems. When it comes to the visuals, well, I'm sure you can see it. It has dirt accumulation, it has weathering, it has winter weathering, right? Comes with a barrel load of liveries. Everything's all of the highest definition that you can see from the textures and the modeling. It's absolutely insane. The sounds are absolutely incredible, captured by Echo 19 using the real world aircraft, and they sound incredible on this. The art effects, the PFB, all of the stuff, the PFB, the paper flight bat, it's brilliant. But they went beyond, you know, the aircraft. I think what iniBuilds have done here, lads, they've captured the friggin' character of this machine, right? For instance, right, we're going to go up the steps here, and this isn't your normal kind of entry. This is like, this was your first class back in the day, right? So we'll ramble up the steps here, because what we have in this aircraft variant, yes, there's a galley, right? But I think it's to the left hand side here. We'll go through this door. You have a little lounge. So this is kind of like the pre-flight lounge. Or if you just wanted to indeed come down to the lounge from first class, well, you absolutely could, right? That's all inside the aircraft. You know what I mean? You flew out loads and worked LPL a good few years. Oh, nice. So come up the stairs here. Easy now, easy now, easy now. And here we are in the cabin. And what makes the cabin of this aircraft nuts, look at the headroom you have. I mean, they don't make planes like this anymore. Sure they don't. Look at the headroom, look. That's like your average head height, roughly where I am now. It's absolutely incredible. And the detail. Big massive projector. Only one movie. And you know what? You were happy about it. You'd be happy about it. They're not showing that thing again. And then when we come down, like even the, you know, even the economy class, it's still very nice. Now, granted, if you're sitting all the way back here, you know, wait, have they projected? No. If you're sitting all the way back down here and you're looking up to see the movie, you know, what do you say? Right? But they've modelled all of this. And there's some options that we have. That's interesting with LOD. There's options that we have in the aircraft layout itself, because what we can do, crew only, what we have inside in the aircraft, well, we have a ton of options of what we want to show and what we don't necessarily want to show, right? It is class. So from the exterior, it comes with a number of different variants, as I said. It comes with that extra engine pod. It's the 500 series of the aircraft, and it's just class looking. Like what's so different about this is how they got that engine where it is. You compare this to something like the MD-11 where the entire engine is up and away. This one is actually built in through the fuselage itself. It's all combined in together. It's a very unique design by Lockheed, right? So we'll jump into the flight deck, and just to give you some ideas. Now, as I said, tomorrow we're going to spend a lot of time with this aircraft because I want to learn it. I want to understand how it works. I want to learn all the systems. I want to know what makes it tick. Right, so that's my plan. But what we have here, we'll start off. We have the PFB, right? This is an iniBuilds Ron, iniBuilds. The S-duct reduces drag. There you go. Good man, Super Tie. It was a drag reduction idea. So panel states rare, cold and dark, autocomplete. This is where you have your flight engineer, and by autocomplete, what you can do, you can open up your pre-flight and you can go, oh, I have to do all of these things, or you can get the flight engineer to auto-complete everything for you. So for example, right, let's get him to do the master switch. Or we can say, do the full pre-flight and he'll do everything. So there's the master switch coming on. That's the battery. GPU. APU. And fuel panel.
Captain, flow complete. Back to you now.
So he reports back to you to say when things are done. And you can see now the APU should be firing up, which it is, right? So what makes the aircraft quite remarkable is, yes, you have your overhead, yes, you have your pilot, co-pilot, but you have the engineer station, and everything in here works. Everything in here works. Circuit breakers freaking work, right? Anyway, In terms of familiarity and figuring it all out, if you've flown any of the classic 747s, you're not a million miles from home. What we have here, so looking up at our top, we have hydraulics, we have engine bleed, we have cabin pressure. We have all our fire extinction stuff on top. Moving down the left-hand side, we have our main electrical panel, right? Internal and external power sources, our fuel system, right? Then we have engine fuel, engine oil, and engine RPM status. Moving slightly over to the right-hand side then, just a chrono, but then we have our APU control, we have our smoke detection, cargo compartment, and then we're back into our cabin stuff as well. So APU is now running, we jump back into our main seat, and we have a look at the overhead. We have 3 INS switches, right, for your alignment, and each of these are tied to each of the INSs. And then we have other things. You've all like the various computers looking after the likes of your stall, looking after ACS. You have your anti-ice systems, lighting systems, and so on. Just quite a bit to figure out here, right? However, in addition to all of that, we also have navigation options. So we can see here, right, well, we are sporting 3 UNS or INS machines, but we also then have a GPS, and the combination between using the INS and a GPS allows us to fly the modern SIDS and stars, for instance, right? Because you can group them all together. You have options in the aircraft though to fly this thing like as old school as you wish. So you can just say, do you know what, it's going to be radio nav, that's all I need. And that's flying by like your radios, think VOR to VOR. Or you can put in your INS system or a GPS system on its own, which I would recommend for anyone starting off on this. But an INS is cool. It uses a latitude and a longitude coordinate, and it can save multiple coordinates, usually 9 of them at a time. And how the system works is you tell it where it is, and it figures out then where you've traveled from. It's a pretty cool system. And we've seen this already in the likes of the 146 from Just Flight. Do you know? Very interesting stuff. Tons and tons of options here. Even a FX performance mode. If you're under a bit of pressure with the performance from the visual effects, you can turn that off. INS drift is a thing. You can import your SIDS and stars. And you have a ton of options, be it your throttle calibration, your audio, your aircraft specific stuff. You can go into the ground options here. This is where you can open and close doors, GPU. This is where you have your aircraft weathering. So for example, she looks lovely and clean there now, yeah, right? Lovely and clean. We get in here and we start messing with it. She's no longer lovely and clean. So you get the idea, right? You can really kind of set the tone and mood of this aircraft. It's pretty class what you can do. Then we have, what else do we have here now? Cargo doors, that's all grand. The load sheet, this will sync directly in from SimBrief if you wish, and it gives you an idea of your weight and balance, fuel, cargo, passengers, your operational flight plan. That's a flight I was working on earlier on. Then you have your takeoff performance, your landing performance, you have access to your charts, and then you have just an en route map. This PFB, this paper flight bag, this is excellent. It's excellent. They've done a great job here, and it's so good to see. And the performance I've seen in the aircraft has been very, very good. I have no noticeable frame drops. It flies really, really well. The sounds are great. It looks great. I'm very excited to start learning this aircraft more and more tomorrow. So make sure you tune in for that because we're going to start off with a manual. It does come with a manual, over 100 and odd pages. And I just see a DM there from Naughty Gnome, what looks to be the official operating handbook for this. We are going to dive deep into all of this because I want to learn this thing with the view of taking it on some interesting flights. So that is the L-1011. If you don't have it, it's a strong recommendation for me to say go ahead and grab it, because they have brought an aircraft that isn't going to be the most popular, right, because it's of that certain age and its nav options and all this. But from what I've seen from the initial get-go is, yes, it is a complex aircraft. There's a lot of stuff that you have to learn. So it's going to be great if you want to get your teeth really into something, but they've made it very, very accessible because you have that autocomplete, you have that automatic flight engineer. You just, hey, do all of these things. Hey, I only want to fly with a GPS. I can use me rudimentary autopilot here. You know what I mean? So in terms of starting off, it's going to do a pretty good job holding your hand, you know. So that's not all. While we're here, we're going to check out Liverpool. And this is an airport I have been. I remember flying in. I rarely remember flying out, right? And that's usually a good sign. But what they have here, I mean, this is very accurate. It is gorgeous, the work that they've done into this airport. And as we say, Practically Geek, who's in the chat, this is his local neck of the woods. They do have the yellow submarine. It's just below here. That's just like a little landmark. Everyone has to go over and take a picture and do all the stuff, right? But looking at the airport itself, it's a phenomenal airport. We'll start up at the very top because the flight schools up here, they do quite a bit of general aviation and flight training, right? Why is it every time I go to use a gadget it breaks? Is anyone else having issues with chase plane? I wonder if I turn it off and turn it back on again, will this fix it? Because do you know what happens? I lose the ability to use a map. Or not a map, do you hear me? The drone. Re-enable. Will this work? Okay, I think that worked. Okay, we'll do this so. We're doing well, lads. Right, let's go off and do this a little bit better. So let me see. Where was I? Sorry, I was going this way. Murph, you're some idiot. The two iniBuilds devs that did this are very talented. George, for example, has been speaking to LPL local simmers. Oh, no way. Did Aer Lingus use the L-1011? Alfred, yeah, I think so, yeah. Flying Winnebago, good to see you, buddy. Right, so down here, this is where you have the flight training schools. Pleasure flights, Liverpool's number one flying, it's Raven Air, right? And if anyone remembers the late and great Matt Davies, Matt did his flying lessons here. He did videos flying out of here, which was, I thought, class to see. So they have all this down here at Raven Air, and then as you move across, you have Liverpool's Flying School, and we also have some stuff over here as well. Wait now, have I... I'm getting a weird mesh issue. Interesting. Didn't have that earlier. Don't know what else I have loaded in. FedEx here, cool. Loads of cars, tons of cars, and then we have the main block as well. Got a control tower, fire station. And like, this is the detail you get into. Like, I mean, the name on the fire trucks, you know. You can walk from check-in through security and to the gates with Avatar. Insane to experience. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Got the Hampton Hotel. We'll come on down here and have a look at the terminal side. So they're done, again, it's just done to a very high standard, lads. I will check out the night lighting here now in a moment. So we'll ramble in. And here's all our check-in. Ryanair, Aer Lingus, Jet, they're all there, right? They're all there. They do have, didn't they have landing up here? They did. That's pretty cool looking, isn't it? That's deadly. Now, my understanding is when you drop your bag, it's up to the left. Yeah, departure's up to the left. I can remember the place. Skyport Terminal is insane. Ooh. The detail, like, it's photorealistic. It's class looking. So, yeah, you have to go up this way to get the stairs. We'll just use the stairs. Go up the Adivilia. Stay going. And we're on the right track now, I think. Yeah. Man alive, it's so accurate, it's frightening. Fast track, that'll be us. In you go there now. Easy, in through security. Beep, beep, beep. And then, look at it, look, like, that's the detail. Isn't it frightening? And then we go through border control, Liverpool, and now we're in. Isn't that deadly, isn't it? There's W.H. Smith. Walk along, you'll have a couple of more shops. Gates are that way. World's duty free. Right now, do you have to go through the duty free? You do. Look at all the fine things they have in duty free. We're never leaving. Jesus. How class is that? It's the actual airport, right? Here's Sable. And then you're down into the departure area. Isn't that class? Like, Grab us a vodka while you're there. Yeah, no hassle at all. Yeah, it's very, very good, lads, isn't it? Like, I mean, that is an accurate, like, it is the airport. And that's, like, from my memory. You know what I mean? But yeah, pretty cool. JD Sports they have. They've WH Smiths. They've Boots. Like, there's a lot going on. Did they have Liverpool jerseys now? Who'd buy them? They have the arcade. Ah, brilliant! Retromania. Ah, for God's sake. Well, I suppose that's the way, you know, that's the way copyright goes. Oh, wait, it's WCW. Jesus. Legends Ultimate. That's class, lads, isn't it? Give it time. Give it time. You'll be able to hop in and play some of these. I'm telling you. More lounge stuff here. There's Monty's Diner. Right? Access to the gates are down here. It's just absolutely incredible, the detail. It really, really is. So on the air side then, plenty of scatter there with kind of vehicles. We don't have any aircraft waiting by. What else do we have there? We have the snow plows. We have our cargo stuff down this neck of the woods. There are buses driving around the place. The lift buttons are literally insane. Silly detail. Yeah, 100%. Big Alice here, good to see you. Yeah, the yellow sub is there, Briggsy. It's just out in front of the airport. So we got our cargo handling there. There's the Mersey with all the ships. And as we head back in towards the land side, well, this is where you can see things over here. Look. Your holiday starts here. All right, calm down, mates, will you? Brilliant. Now, let's check out a little bit of nighttime lighting, because this is where iniBuilds absolutely smash it. Look at the state. Ah, lads, look at the state of that, look. Isn't that unbelievable? Absolutely incredible. Even the friggin' pedestrian crossing lights are flashing, look. But that's ridiculous. Isn't that ridiculous? Night lighting inside is superb. Lights from the friggin' buses. I mean, that's awesome. What's it look like inside? Ah yeah, they've nailed it, look. Look at that, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And if we kind of go through the building back out this side into the onto the air side, that's what it looks like from out here. I'm very, very much impressed. Oh, we got the hangars here as well. Service hangars, look. Jesus, there's lots going on with this scenery. That's class, isn't it? Just the different lighting and the whole layout. It is absolutely incredible looking. They've done a great job here. I think that night lighting is superb. And you can see it on the runway and the taxi lighting as well. They've done a great job. Absolutely great job. So iniBuilds Liverpool John Lennon has been released. If you don't have it, you need to question your life choices, because it's very, very good indeed. You can pick it up over on their website for about £14.30. £14.30. Right, moving on. We're nearly there now. We have more to show you. So next up, friends, we're going to load in with a different aircraft, just to give you a flavour. Now, all the aircraft that we're showing off, like, we will spend a bit more time with these, don't worry. But just for the moment, it's an early look to see what you think, right? Now, let me think. Sure, we'll have an old blast of this, and we might go to Cotswold, because this is a fascinating little place. There's Exeter. There's Campbell. Jump in there. So Cotswold Campbell, or Campbell Cotswold. This is a brand new release from Burning Blue Design. I'm a huge fan of what Burning Blue do, because they make airports that just invite you to discover them, right? And of course, Campbell being an old RAF facility here at Cotswold. But before we check out the airport, we're going to have a look at a brand new aircraft release from Aeroplane Heaven. And this one, of course, is the de Havilland Mosquito. Now, what's pretty cool about this, I think Aeroplane Heaven's releases have been going from strength to strength. They've been getting very, very good, right? And the Mozzie is absolutely, you know, no exception This thing is fantastic, right? So we'll go over and have a proper look at her. It is superb. Considering this is built for 2020, it is working just fine in 2024. The Mosquito, I've been very excited to get my hands on this aircraft. I just think they're cool. 633 Squadron, was it? Or Mosquito, there was a movie. It's an old one, but very, very good. And I showed these guys in a bombing run. Just a superb aircraft. You know, the Mozzie. And the modelling work, the texture work here, it's all done very, very well. With the liveries, there are a few. There's also a new feature whereby you can put in your own custom roundel. And there's a way to do that from the aircraft itself. It's almost like a live livery editor. You can choose what one you want. Something very interesting we'll have a quick look at. But this aircraft, it's absolutely class. Wartime necessity. When Britain's metal resources were under extreme pressure, designers took to an unconventional approach by building much of the aircraft from the multi-layered plywood, making this one of the underutilized furniture industry and readily available raw materials. The Mosquito, often called the wooden warrior, wasn't it? Powered by two Rolls-Royce Merlin V12 liquid-cooled piston engines. Where's this now? Do-it-yourself Mosquito allows you to make your own squadron all from inside the sim. That's the livery, right? Because of the speed and versatility, the Mosquito was used in many daring and covert missions, including the famous raids such as Operation Jericho and attacks on Gestapo headquarters. It served around 20 air forces and remained in action until the 1950s. Several are under restoration, and the aircraft remains admired for its beauty, innovation and remarkable wartime legacy. It's available over in Just Flight for about €28. And it's just class. Highly detailed Rolls-Royce Merlin engines, sound set recorded by Echo 19, and beautiful crafted exterior and interior. This is just a class act. From Airplane Heaven, the last few releases have just been excellent. Absolutely excellent. So, with our current livery where we're sitting, what we're going to do, we'll give it an engine startup just so you can hear the sounds, and we'll look at some of the features inside the aircraft, right? Welcome to the cockpit. And first and foremost, you're greeted by just, it's cool looking, right? Highly detailed, lots to see, and very interactive, such as our little door down below. And we have some options over here if we were to turn on some switches. So we got an option switch here. That appears this mad looking panel, and from here we can do all sorts. This is where the roundel thing comes in, where you can change the roundels on the wing or on the fuselage. So you have to just read up what it's all about. It's very, very good, right? While we're here, we'll open up the bomb bay doors. So now you can see underneath, yeah, we got a pair of bombs in there. We also have access for the pilot and co-pilot. That's how they got in and out of the aircraft, right? But then we have this feature then, we can remove the panels. Engine covers can come off, and we can remove the bombs if we wish. And now if you have a look, all the panels are now on the ground, but they now absolutely show off those Merlins. And you can see the Rolls-Royce on the side. Isn't that absolutely deadly, lads? Like, that's class. Looking out the window on them things, I mean, look at the state. We also have an option here as well for the hush kit. So for example, if we pop these covers back on, a hush kit was used mainly at night time to hide the freaking flash of the flames coming out the engine. And these are modelled. But if you didn't want them there, we can get rid of those. And they expose then the proper exhaust. And you'll actually see flames fire out of those. Like, that's just class. Class, right? So you have the option for either or. And all these options that we're playing with, you can also see where the pilot and co-pilot are. But we can move our co-pilot up to the bombardier position. That disappeared him. That puts him in the front. So see the way he's now aiming. So you can change his position, which is pretty cool, or you can turn them off completely if you don't want to see them. You know, hush kit, yes. Bombs, put them back on. And yeah, we'll put our stuff back together. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close the bomb bay doors. We're going to close our hatch. You can also open up the windows here in the front. It's important to note, flying the aircraft, the flight model, or the flight envelope, it does require a little bit of rudder trim to keep the thing in the straight and narrow. So there's that. So what we want to do, we want to put some power into the aircraft because we want to start up the engines. So to get us going, we're going to move around to the back here. Now there's a click spot. We can push that out of the way completely. And this gives us access to the radio. And you might be saying, huh? Now, I think Aeroplane Heaven were saying, you know, they wanted to code this correctly, but it would have taken a whole load of WASM stuff. They didn't want to do it. So there's a click spot that'll actually turn it into a radio and transponder. So you can utilize all of that click of a button. Dead handy, right? But what we're looking for down here is that of our fuel. So our cross feed goes in the up position, that's fine. We'll open up our fuel tanks here, push these puppies in, fuel pressurization, that should be okay. We'll then come over here, we got a battery switch. We'll also open up our cowl flaps. And what else do we want to do here now? We're gonna go, let me see, there's our throttle, there's our prop. Open up that a small bit. We do have a supercharger on this machine as well that we can utilize. It does work. What else do you want to do here now? So we have our mags. Go the right engine first. What we have is a starter and a starter and a primer. So hopefully this works, right? I will say clear it, the prop it. Press and hold it, Murph. I mean, it's just a lovely sound, isn't it? Alright. Repeat the process. Okay, so there's our engines running, nice and easy. Hear the sound with the windows open? It's pretty cool, right? Look at the shaking and rattling going on. This is very good. So we'll have a listen outside. And watch out for those flames. Absolutely brilliant. Right. It's very good, isn't it? Sounds great. Echo did a phenomenal job on this one. And again, Airplane Heaven, they've done, I think, an incredible job at this as well. Flying the aircraft is really nice. It does have a tendency to roll, as in like a trim. So you do need to put in considerable amount of rudder trim on this thing. Could be a 24 thing, but this is a beautiful, beautiful rendition. And I'm so happy that we have this now in the sim. Expect some flights in this machine very, very soon. It is gorgeous. I think it's a superb aircraft. Closest thing this will get to is probably the Lightning. So yeah, it's just a very, very pretty aircraft, and I think they've done a great job here. So that be the Mozzie What we're going to do now, we're going to check out this airfield. This is Cotswold, Kemble. And this is quite a sizable location. It's a former RAF field. So we have some information on it. Get in the heart of Gloucestershire, just 4.5 miles south of is a Cirencester, Cotswold, uniquely atmospheric airfield, blending rich RAF heritage with modern general aviation freedom. Formerly known as RAF Kemble, the site occupies a prime position between Cheltenham and Gloucester and Swindon, offering easy access to both road and rail while remaining clear of controlled airspace, ideal for VF4 operations. Black Knight, good to see you, buddy. Watch out for the torque. Mozzie engine spin the same direction as far as I remember. Oh, could be torque doing it so. Black Knight, good to see you, bud. Wouldn't wonder. That's the one. Not directly. It was leased. Oh yeah, Aer Lingus. They operated one. It was leased though. Yeah, 100%. Right. Originally constructed in 1936, the eve of the Second World War, RAF Kemble quickly became a vital hub for aircraft maintenance, preparation and ferry operations across the UK. It played a key role in supporting wartime logistics, with the Air Transport Auxiliary operating from the airfield and countless aircraft passing through on their way to frontline squadrons. In the later years, the airfield gained iconic status as the long-time home of the RAF Red Arrows between 1966 and 1983. Following the Cold War and military withdrawal in the early 90s, Kemble entered a new chapter. Reborn as Cotswold Airport in 2009, it has evolved into one of the UK's most distinctive private aviation hubs. Today, the airport supports a thriving mix of flying schools, business aviation, engineering facilities and specialist operations, all centred around its impressive 2,000-metre runway capable of handling very large aircraft. And when we say very large aircraft, right? Hey, Zard is here, good to see you. So with the scenery, there's a number of static aircraft because, well, it's almost like a graveyard, right? Where they work on aircraft, dismantling them and all sorts. And they have all of those here, right? So that's all modelled. That's pretty cool to see. And it doesn't stop there. When you kind of zoom out, you just get you can just see the layout of the old World War II setup. You can see where the hangars used to be. You can see where the squadron areas used to be. You can see where the officers' mess used to be. This is very, very good, right? But I want to come in over this way here, look. So again, we have more aircraft. Like there's Air China sitting here, look. 2EBA, there's loads of them. And look at these hangars. They're the same hangars we were looking at. I mean, those Belfast style hangars, there's something a little bit newer done, but it's just been revamped, look. Mad, isn't it? And this is outside of the airport now. These hangars, of course, used to be part of the airport, but these are now outside of the airport. These are now privately owned buildings. Aircraft dismantlers, logistic companies, all that kind of stuff. This is all outside of it, right? And this is the original World War II kind of layout. But it's great to see they have everything's modelled. But these are all kind of private buildings. I think Iron Mountain have a clatter of stuff here, you know. The RAF TriStar landed here and did some touch and goes. No way. That's awesome. I seem to have something going on with my mesh. I need to check that. So loads of different buildings all around this neck of the woods. We cross over. Again, we got more hangar facilities. There's a caravan. Brilliant. The detail these lads go into, it's just frightening. Ooh, is that a Buccaneer? It looks like it, doesn't it? That's a Buccaneer, lads, isn't it? There's the detail on this. That'd pass for a friggin', wouldn't it? That's cool looking. It is a Buccaneer, isn't it? Or a Buccaneer. Got a 747 here. Moving down the track. It's an F4. Phantom. Is that the Britannia? Oh, hang on, we can read it. It is. Regulus was built at Belfast, made her first flight in 1960. Delivered to Transport Command. Her final flight was here, 1997. The world's only complete RAF Britannia. Bristol Britannia. That's nuts. Didn't the Nimrod replace those? Almost certain they did. What else do we have? Just there's loads to see here, look. Cotswold Model Car Club. Would you go on a way out of that? It's a model car club and they have a little circuit for them. That's deadly. That's deadly. What else do we have? Loads of people walking around, loads of cars. Amazon Prime are there. This looks all very logistics looking. Jeez, the amount of cars. More trucks. Ooh, look at this, lads. This is insane, the detail. Freedom Aviation. So we're down to kind of just the flight schools here. There's a man wearing a nice t-shirt. It's practically geek. Look, there he is. He's in the sim. Jesus. Ed Force 1. It's the ex-Iron Maiden one. You serious? That's brilliant. Oh, look at the state of the Mustang. Lads, isn't that class looking? That's freaking gorgeous, isn't it? What else do we have? A BA 747, a Cessna 150 or 152. Jeez, there's loads, lads. It's a great scenery. Look, the detail they have on this is nuts. Amount of people. Is that an LG-NAT? Or a NAT? Were they a G-NAT or a NAT? It is. It's the old Red Arrows plane. Before the Hawks took over, they used to fly those, didn't they? To commemorate the visit of the Royal Highnesses, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall. You can download delivery for the P-51 in the sim. No way. A Folland. Was it? How do you pronounce it? Was it a NAT or a G-NAT? That's awesome looking. Look. It's a NAT. Okay. Cyrus, good to see you, buddy. So it's a NAT. Very good. Got the control tower with a man looking. Jesus, he's seen. This fella has stories, I'd say. Not today. Oh, Jesus, right. Did you do your taxes? I don't know. Oh, jeez, there's more, look. There's the cafe. That looks like a Buccaneer. Ooh. What's that now? That's not a Meteor, is it? Or a Meteor? Is it? Very nice. A Hunter. The Hawker Hunter. Jesus. That's class, lads. They've gone all out at this airport. Isn't it beautiful? Any Skodas now? I mean, this is going to be the icing on the cake. If there's no Skodas, we'll have to deduct a point. Oh, they've got a chipmunk out there as well, look. That's deadly. Right, now, if there's no Skodas here, lads, I'm going to be terribly upset with them. I don't see any Skodas yet. Jay, isn't it a huge little setup? Oh, look at this thing. Do you remember that used to be on the telly late at night? Hang on. Fit screen, Murphy. Fit the screen. Because if... Jesus. If I do this right... Those of you watching in, Ireland or the United Kingdom, you will know exactly what time of day it is. There we go. Wait. Would you go... Did anyone know that was going to happen? Jesus, I didn't know that was going to happen. I genuinely didn't think that was going to happen. Pretty fancy though, isn't it? It is. It's shameless plug, but I didn't know it did that. Jesus. I feel like a total muppet now, but also at the same time, I mean, well, Jesus, then would you look at the absolute hack? I mean, you know, beautiful and very nice and very lovely. I'm just saying. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? I mean, Jesus, lad, we're famous now, lads. I didn't know they did that. That's hilarious. Now it's over to Crafty Sim, look. Jesus. That is so funny. To be honest now, right? Wait, to be honest now, I didn't know that was there. That's I need to thank the lads for that. I was not aware of that. But as good as that is, you know, I'm still on the hunt for a Skoda. If there's no Skodas here, I'm going to have to be harsh, you know? We're going to have to be harsh. We just need one Skoda. One Skoda will do. And if there's a Skoda, well then we're laughing. But I can tell you, if there's no Skoda, wait now. There's an old Golf. There's loads of Audis. BM. I don't. No, that's not it. Lies! I thought it was. It's not. Hang on, there's more cars down. It's very sad to have to go around and do all this. Look, Jesus. Hang on. Right now. Well, I never. This is the finest simulated airport add-on in the history of simulated airport add-ons. There's a Skoda in the thing. Brilliant. Isn't that realism? I mean, it's a proud day. Now it's a proud day. It's a proud moment. It's only a Fabia, though. Doesn't matter if it's only a Fabia. Jay, what's better than one Skoda? Two Skodas. Ah, yes. We've come a long way, friends. We've had some turbulent times. Ah, that's brilliant. Right, best scenery in the history of all sceneries. Well done. Burning Blue Designs. These are an absolute bunch of mad lads and legends. And I genuinely did not know they had the logo in there. I had no idea. Genuinely, I had no idea. This is the first time me looking at this. This
Can
literally.
I get a refund?
No, you can't. Just shut up. Literally, I've only installed this today. For your flight sim guy, brilliant. I literally only installed this today. This is my first look at it, so you know what you're seeing is what I'm seeing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. What's it like at night time? Ooh. Oh, Jesus, nice. Like, it's not going to be the night operational place, but the lighting is pretty good, isn't it? T-hangers have loads of lights. The main block and towers lit up. Ah, yeah, that's nice, lads. It's subtle, but it's what you would expect. There is runway lighting, funny enough. And then the rest are just kind of normal, kind of street lighting. Jesus, what's this? Chartered certified accountants. I won't ring them now. Imagine though. That's very good, isn't it? Just what an absolute friggin' masterpiece. Burning Blue, well done, lads. This is awesome. This is awesome. And it's in a superb part of the country as well. Really, really nice. It's fascinating because it has the heritage, but it also has the detail, and it just looks like a superb place to come flying to, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Brilliant. So a massive well done. Mr. TPHI is here. Good to see you. It's a vehicle that is at the very furthest end of the airport for a reason, right? Skoda, Rolling Stone, yeah, best made cars ever in the world. You know, both Ferrari and Mercedes joined forces to make Skoda. Right, we're nearly there now. We're on the final furlong. Next up, we're going to check out the B200, which is a brand new release from Carenado. And what I like about the English, what I like about the B200, it's designed to work in multiplayer missions, meaning that we get a medevac or a charter variant of the aircraft. Now I'm going to load in with the charter one. It just gives you seats in the cabin. If you go with the search and rescue one or the air ambulance, it's a stretcher in the cabin, right? And we're going to ramble up here to Belfast City. And we'll pop her down here. So this scenery is from FlyX Simulations. And we will have a look at this now in a moment. George Bess Belfast City Airport serves as a vital gateway to Northern Ireland, offering a convenient and well-connected hub for both domestic, regional, international flights. Airlines operating for the airport include that of Aer Lingus, British Airways, EasyJet and Logan Air. They link Belfast with key destinations such as London, Manchester, Birmingham, Edinburgh, Glasgow and beyond. Now what we have here is an aircraft, this one from Carenado. Multiplayer missions, you mean career? Well, career mode, beg your pardon. Yes, that is it. That's what I meant to say. So here we have the Carenado B200. Now it goes without saying, Carenado makes some of the most visually stunning aeroplanes in the sim, hands down, right? We'll get back into the cockpit here now in a moment. Want a bit of brightness here if we can. Hawk Driver, thank you very much indeed. Good to see you, buddy. Cameron is here. Good to see you, bud. So, the B200 Beechcraft. I love this airplane. Royal Flying Doctors used them. Irish Air Corps used one of these for a long time. In actual fact, this was an aircraft, or this is the aircraft that the Air Corps used for the Bremen flight back in 2003. So what we have here from Carenado, well, I mean, it should kind of speak for itself. The attention to detail on the modelling and texture work here, I think, is just perfect. It is fantastic. They have tons of detailing, really sharp, high-resolution textures. I mean, you can really see what's going on here. I'm unsure, do we have access to the cowling? I think we do. We'll go back and check that now in a moment. But as you're looking around the aircraft, you can see it. It's not kind of brand new and spotless. There is a little bit of wear and tear and ruggedness. They're not a brand new aircraft. They're quite an old one. Carenado were famous for making this issue. Fuel tank on the right is correct. They seem to have fixed that issue, so yeah, well done, Carenado. It's just beautiful looking. I think they've absolutely nailed it on the visuals. Isn't it stunning? It's absolutely gorgeous. Triforce Gamer, good to see you, bud. Welcome in. So we can see here the detail even down at the wheels on the landing gear with the tyres. You can see the brake lines, hydraulics coming down here as well on the main suspension strut. Look how clear the decals are. Like visually, Carenado, just no complaints. No complaints whatsoever. They're just exceptionally good at this, at the visuals. Exceptionally good, right? And the same can be said when you're inside the aircraft as well. So for example, we're here in the cockpit, right? And look at those textures. Like, that's photoreal. That is photoreal, lads. It's unbelievable what they've done, right? So let's see. Open this gadget up. We can ramble out the back here. And again, like, you know, there's stuff to press and click and play with and all this sort of stuff. Or a table. Like, look at that. Isn't it real looking? This is done very, very well, I gotta say. It's fantastic. We have buttons here for the interior lights, tray tables, they all work. Back here then you have the jacks, then we have access to the door. You got some luggage in there as well. You can open the door as a click spot. It'll probably automatically put us outside the plane because... Oh no, it didn't! Carenado are learning. That's fantastic, look. Usually you click the exit and like you're outside of the plane, you know what I mean? Right, so let's see, can we open up the engine cowling? I doubt it, but sure, listen, you wouldn't know your luck. Right? Oh, you can! Brilliant! Checking the oil, that's real good. Fair play to them. Do the same on this side. Ah, now lads, don't just have one door working. Did we find a bug? We can only check one engine. I wonder, does one switch do both? Aha! Very good, very good, very good. Right, it does work. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, so what do we get? Well, inside, welcome to the cockpit. And again, like, the detailing is stunning. Now, in terms of a tablet, our tablet integration is on the inbuilt EFB. So if I go over to here, we look for B200. So winglets, if you want winglets on the aircraft, on the wings, click of a button, that'll pop in your winglets. See them out there on the wing? Right. We can also choose if we want to have different avionics. So at the moment, it has the Garmin 530. We can go ahead and throw in the 750, right? So that can be achieved. Our circuit breakers on the wall. Not all are modelled. Maybe they are. Not all of them, but a lot of them seem to be. Man, look at the texture work even on the oak. Look, Jesus, that's savage, isn't it? Right, realism. This is where we want to have a look at. So let's have a look at this. So a B200, gear is down, flaps are up, prop out of feather, up you go. Engine idle, fuel shut off, armrest up. Okay, battery. Let's have a look. Engine anti-ice beacon, tail flood on, nav light, Rico lights on, fuel boosters. Fuel's working. Actuator standby is okay. Auto feather is off. Inverter off. Avionics off. Gens off. Engine ignition arm. And we'll go for start on the right hand side. PT kind of 6 engine, so we should figure out what happens. We'll have our NG, ITT, NG in that order. Fuel shut off valve is complete. Overhead we do have lights. So we'll go ahead and fire. Turbine moving. Prop will open up now in a moment to start spinning. There's 18, 20, fuel in. Right, there's a bug. So our ITT isn't working. That's interesting. Texturing is very good, but we should be getting a read on our ITT. These gauges aren't working. Now, unless it wants an inverter. I can't use the inverter. It's 20%. So the ITT gauges seem to be broken. Wait for 50. There's 50. Starter off. Gen on. Ignition off. Mixture rich. Or condition rich. This is the Carenado B200 jet. Yeah. So our ITT gauges, they're shagged. That, although they're coming alive now, but they should come up when you start up the plane. So you should get a read on your ITT, introduce the fuel, it should rise and peak and then drop again. That's how you monitor a hot start. They are broken. They're working after the fact. So it's like they're coded to be like EGT rather than ITT. So that's something they need to fix. But apart from that, we're not too bad. Right, continue. Avionics. Actuators can't play with. Inverter we can't play with, unfortunately. These screens are down here. Very nice layout though. I'm impressed. Let me see, time of day. Oh, there's that beautiful Beechcraft glow thingy. Floodlights, don't want. Alright, got lower. Oh, look at the lighting though. Ah lads, that's superb, isn't it? Jesus, look how good that looks. That is exceptionally good. Lights in the cabin. Wait, can we control the cabin from here? No? Cabin lights? I thought we always have a switch in here for the cabin light, no? But there are switches on the walls up here. There you go. Oh Jesus, look at the lighting. Look at that lighting. Carenado hitting a home run here, lads. Look at the state of that view. It's freaking real looking. You know, the world's best Bond villain should be sitting in that chair. Look at the texture. Jesus. That's very impressive. So hot right now. Alright, so one engine kind of bug. Let's have a look at our external lights. Mad looking heat blur. So a flash beacon on the bottom. Good landing lights. Nice strobe lights. Yeah, the lights are really good. Lighting is excellent. Night lighting is absolutely excellent. Right, in terms of King Air sound, what we like? Mush. Sounds are good. Good sounds along with beta. Real nice. Real nice. Right. That's really cool. Hey, Sumner, good to see you, buddy. Welcome aboard. If they can fix the ITT, I think the thing is perfect. Really. This is done really well from Carenado. It looks insanely good. Features are all there. Sounds great. The night lighting is superb. We just need to get that ITT fixed and we're laughing. There's also another thing. The blue light is actually running off its own battery source as per the real aircraft. Now, I'm not going to get too upset with them over that. But yeah, this is a really good, really nice airplane. Hey, Quack is here. Good to see it. So well done, Carenado. That is the B200. I'd love to see an update regarding that ITT because it's just not right. But I think overall, what a beautiful aircraft. Need an Irish Air Corps livery on this gadget soon as possible. It is just needed. But anyway, let us check out George Best, Belfast City. A new airport. This one is from FlyX Simulations, available over on the iniBuilds store. You can pick this one up for £14.39, excluding taxes. High quality detailed airport buildings, custom PBR ground textures, ground markings, airport terminal interior, custom cars, and a custom GSX profile. We've got some nice signage here as well. Custom service equipment and cars add depth and authenticity. The add-on features custom GSX profile. What else does it have? Yeah, it's done very well. It's done very well. Skoda Hunt again, right? Hey, Victorious, good to see you. That's the Carrigareed rope bridge. I've been over that many times. The dragon thing fell. Jeez, it's collapsed a couple of times now. And as you could have imagined, when that drops, good luck to you. You know. There's the Titanic building. All right, let's check this out. What are we looking at here? Okay, nice layout. The road coming in. Got some trees coming in. They're using their own models for cars and stuff. We do have an airport interior. Let's ramble in. Starbucks. Samson's, that's pretty cool. Look at the bar up here. Samson's. Alright, we got a bit of a terminal. That's not bad, right? And again, you look at it from in here. That's class looking. And I like that touch. Look, all the pictures. Giant's Causeway. Yeah, that's done really well. Done loose. Isn't that done loose? You have a sinking feeling about this? Jesus. Thaddeus, good to see you. The Nomadic. She's in dry dock. You can actually go out and visit that. That was a feeder vessel for Titanic. Yeah, this is done really well. I like this. As I say, it's not the first time you've seen at Belfast City Airport. UK 2000 did one, but it's quite old at this stage. And this is really good from FlyX. There's loads of detail here. They've included the IKEA building down the road and the industrial estate by the shopping centre, so that's all there. Not a Skoda in sight. What's going on here now, lads? Baby Janie. It's all their own custom cars though. That's pretty cool. Because, like, let's face it, the default sim cars are rubbish. You know. Alright, nice. Spirit Aeronautics over the far side, or Aerospace. Spirit? Yes, Spirit. Yeah, they have all the hangar buildings over on the left-hand side, or at least they used to be hangar buildings. What was the name of them? Bombardier used to be based up here. Learjet. That's where they built the Learjets. And also your man with the DeLorean wasn't too far from here as well, I think. All the solar panels there, that's cool. Got the fire station, all the old industrial buildings. We can see... right now. So we can... What's the name of these? Isn't this Samson and Goliath? Isn't it? Harlan and Wolf? I don't... Wasn't it? Harlan and Wolf. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The Titanic building then, she's in the... There it is. Ah, nice. It's modelled, look. I think Microsoft Flight Sim modelled that though, didn't they? But there it is. You ever get the chance to do that? That's an excellent exhibition. Is the Titanic Museum. It's excellent. It's very, very good. It's well worth a visit. Very, very interesting. And then the Nomadic The Nomadic was always kind of parked up alongside, wasn't it? Although she's down here now. It's in dry dock. So that's where the Nomadic is. And no, there are not terrace council houses on it. That's the SS Nomadic. She was a feeder vessel to Titanic. You can't win them all, I suppose. Then we have the main shipyards, dockyards, and then you're back into Belfast City then behind it. I will say the UK 2001 had a bit more attention on some of the buildings approaching. For example, this is a football field. So, like, it's not apartments like that. Just little things like that, especially on kind of like a very short final. It's that should have been modelled. Maybe that's something FlyX can have a look at. But certainly at the airport, it's perfect. I mean, the layout is done right, the modelling is done right. There's plenty of scatter with you know, ground service vehicles. It looks pretty good. Towers modelled. Basic, but it works. The big patch of grass outside Titanic Museum is covered in apartments now. Vizilla, really? Come live at Approach Apartments, where soccer is live. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, it's just mad. But no, I think the general layout here, lads, is done very, very well. The interior's there as well. I mean, this is great. Really is. It adds a lot to it, doesn't it? Check out the night lighting here as well. Like, flying into Belfast, it's a beautiful airport to fly into. For any aircraft, you know. Oh, yeah. It's certainly strong night lighting. Bright as hell, but yeah, it looks the part, doesn't it? The lounge upstairs there, you can look straight in. It's nice. It's very nice. You can see your house from there. Ooh, nice. Was that a mural inside? Where'd you see it, Yanni? Actually, what we like from the far side. I know it's good. It is good. It's an up-to-date kind of take on Belfast City Airport. And I will say the performance is excellent. The performance here is like excellent. So it's highly optimized. Plenty to see, nice approach lights coming in, and then, as I said, Microsoft Flight Sim are responsible for the landmarks, Titanic and the cranes there. It's nice, just nice. Lower level, yeah, just the pictures on the wall, yeah, they're nice, aren't they? Rain reflections, good shout.
Hello there.
Hello there. That's time custom. Give us now a shot of rain. This probably isn't going to work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Precip. So, like, you can hear it, you just... Oh, no, hang on, there's rain falling. Yeah, it's the sim, doesn't always do it. Thaddeus, thank you for the follow. Doesn't always get rain right. Sometimes the sim won't render rain. But it's... I'd say you're going to get great reflections here. Definitely. Definitely. Live weather, please, Murph. Do. Whoop. And bring our time of day up. Right. Yeah, no, what happens, Malky, the rain, you'll hear it straight away, and if not, you have to bring the mad density stuff in. So even though it does look incorrect, it's sometimes it works, you know. But anyway, lads, there we have it. There we have it. The B200 Belfast City Airport. Also shown there tonight, we checked out the incredible Cotswold from Burning Blue Design and Aeroplane Heaven's Mosquito. We also checked out then the iniBuilds L-1011 TriStar and Liverpool Airport. Absolute cracking stuff. Can you check inside at 5 a.m? There should be lads drinking Guinness. Brilliant. It's been absolutely incredible. Any word on the PSVR update? Thaddeus, it's due out. Sim Update 5 is due out this week. Now, Jorg did say if they can't, they'll push it out a week. It's ready when it's ready, sort of thing. But that could be something that's holding them back, because he didn't want to release this without VR support for the PlayStation. It'll be very exciting now to see that. PlayStation users with VR. Class, right? But yeah, lads, listen, everything worked anyway. I didn't break anything except for everything at the start, in which I'll have a look to see I don't break it again. But a massive thank you to everyone for tuning in. We're back tomorrow morning, 1000 Zulu, and we're going to spend some considerable time learning that TriStar from the very beginning. So we shall see how we get on. So I want to thank you all so very, very much indeed for all the support, all the new follows, the raids. Absolute crazy night, lads. Thank you very, very much indeed. It was an absolute insert choice word for the last 24 hours trying to figure out systems and why things aren't working and all this jazz. So hopefully now we're up and running and the stream is behaving and all the jazz. So thank you for your patience. You're very, very good. We shall see you all tomorrow at 1000 Zulu. Until then, have a very pleasant evening. See you on the next one. Do you know? Don't hit me with a frying pan! Oh, jeez! Did you just hear it? You just hit me with a frying pan!
She made a noise!
Of course I made a noise! You hit me with a frying pan in my head!
Turn around!
Why would you hit me with a frying... Don't hit me again! Ah! Yes, it makes a noise! You're hitting me with a frying pan! Annalisa, did you put her up to that? Jesus, me head! Oh, who hit someone? I mean, come on! Who hit someone with a frying pan, for God's sake? Oh, very hot.